Here is a special dedication to everyone who has a vision and is going through things that make you think you won't get there. This song is for you. When I look into the world, I see my dreamland, but it's far from me now, and it's getting farther. Many have gone through this lane. They have stories to tell. Some are good and some are bad, but I've made up my mind that my story will be pleasant and pleasing to hear. Though it's wrong, I am tough, and I know I will make it. I will get there some way, someday, somehow. I will get there. Oh, I've made up my mind. Sitting there in the morning, right in front of the mirror, wondering if I'll ever make it, 'cause of things happening around me. And then I heard this little voice say to me, "My child, you're going to make it." And then it dawned on me that I am made for the top. So no matter what it takes, I am ready for this journey. I will get there someday, some way, somehow. Oh, yeah. I will get there someday, some way, somehow. I will get there someday, some way, somehow. Oh, and I know that I will get there someday, some way, somehow. I will get there. Oh, I will get there. I've made up my mind.
Hello, welcome to day 2 of the Becoming Summit. My name is Ejiro Sakede, aka the Energetic EJ, and I am the convener of the summit. I am so happy to have you here on day 2. If you thought day 1 was wow, I need to tell you now that day 2 is wowza. Legit. Oh my god. Was yesterday wow or what? Tell me about it. Start dropping your light bulb moment for those of you who were here last night. But if today is your first time, you're welcome. we missed you last night. And so, if you're thinking, oh, I couldn't make it, oh, I didn't catch up, well, so sorry. That's why, in the messages that I sent before now, I made it clear that you can upgrade your registration, to be able to get access to the replays. The link is still up. You can check the emails I've sent before now. You still see the link there to upgrade if you want to get access to the replays from last night. And the same thing is going to happen tonight and tomorrow. So please, if you want to replay, please upgrade your registration. But if not, you can always be here live and direct to sip in and take in everything that is going to be shared. Today we are going to the marketplace, and I want you to sit back, relax, and be ready to gain all the wisdom, especially if you are an entrepreneur and you're looking to go into business. The normal rules today again. Please, let's make the comment section buzzing. You guys did amazing yesterday. Thank you so much. And also remember, there is an offer on the table between yesterday and tomorrow. So you want to take quick action, especially if you're here watching me and you're an author, you already have a book published, or if you're here, you are interested in becoming either a narrator or an audiobook producer and just looking for an extra stream of income and want to use your creative prowess to do that. I am here to serve you, to teach you all I know so that we can be more doing this and we can make a bigger dream come true, okay? You can serve in that capacity. I would love to serve you in that way, alright? So today is going to be fun again, so do not miss out on any part of today's session, alright? I'm going to leave you now and then, play some videos, and I'll be back on the dot because today I am your moderator, okay? So you can't get tired of seeing my face today, alright? So until I come your way in a couple of minutes, relax, enjoy all the videos that we have for you today. Bye. See you in a bit.
Hello, my name is Edirin Edewo. I'm the founder of the Online Publishers and Entrepreneurs Network, otherwise known as Open. Open is a community of writers, authors, and entrepreneurs around the world who come together to learn how to create published assets to build our influence, impact, and income. In commemoration of our 4th anniversary coming up on the 20th of June 2021, we are partnering with the Becoming Summit and Ejiro Osakede to give 10 people the opportunity to have 50% grant when they sign up to get their audiobooks published. This opportunity is for authors who already have books created and published and want to actually create an audiobook version of their books. So the first 10 people to actually register, beginning now from when you're actually listening to this at the Becoming Summit, the first 10 people to register will get 50% grant from us at Open to help them get their books published. We're also giving a 50% grant to people who want to sign up for Ejiro Osakede's Audiobooks Bootcamp. It's a 1-week program dedicated to teaching you how to create audiobooks, to teach you how to mix and edit sounds, and also teach you how to create an extra stream of income by creating audiobooks for authors. Now, we have opportunity for 20 people, 10 of who are authors already, who want to get their books created into audiobooks, and 10 people who want to learn how to create an extra stream of income by learning how to create audiobooks for other people as well. If this is you and you would like to be part of this, please see the information in any of the screen, whether it's up or down, or maybe in the information scrolling below for details on how to register for any of this. And note that all you need to do is just register and we will take care of 50% of your registration fees for you. Thank you so much to Ejiro and to the Becoming Summit and to Mixiform Books, who's bringing this opportunity to people out there. We appreciate you and we wish you the best of luck. Thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of your day.
Her heart was wrenching in that way that was slow and excruciating. The betrayal she felt was beyond what had happened. All the while thinking, who do I turn to when the person who is supposed to be closest to me is the one hurting me? She was sad, distraught, and needed answers. Her brother had called to say Mama's kidney had failed, and they were putting the surgery on hold to tend to the more urgent procedure of dialysis. He said the surgery was delayed because they could not come up with the money required.
Sister Wakego, there's no money. We haven't received any money.
What do you mean? Today is Thursday, I sent it way ahead of time so that you will get it before it's needed. Nwankego interjected. What do you mean? Like, why haven't they done the surgery? Did the money get there late?
What money, sister?
Nnamdi asked confusedly. The money I sent since Monday. Today is Thursday. I sent it way ahead of time so you will get it. Nnamdi's stuttering had confirmed her fears.
Sister Nwankego, there is no money. Oh. I did not receive any alert. How did you send it? Did you use Western Union?
As he was asking, a foreboding came upon her. She had asked Cheta to send the $3,000, enough for the surgery, medicine, and any other associated expenses. Don't worry, Nnamdi. Let me sort it out. Kampogi, Where is the money? Her tone was different, both firm and loud. This time, he answered the question.
Uncle called me that they needed some money to complete the foundation as the rains are coming soon. I'm going to send Mama's money. I'm expecting some money.
He trailed off cluelessly. That was what broke the dam. Nwankego started yelling and hurling insults. My own mother! My sick mother's money is what you took. You are a useless man. How could you? Which money are you expecting? From where? From your failed or imaginary businesses? Procrastinations, distractions, and lousy time management skills can be very detrimental to your productivity, and it can have serious consequences, as I've experienced, and you probably have too. No worries though, because I'm going to show you exactly how I got out of that seemingly never-ending cycle of procrastination and overdrive to become super productive and having enough time left in the day to rest and do the things I love without feeling guilty about it. My super doable checklist to becoming more productive. Number 1, change your mindset, change your life. Everything begins with your mind. We all know all the law of attraction quotes. You are what you think. Our thought becomes things. Success begins in the mind. Whatever the mind of a man can conceive, he can achieve, and so on. But these things are actually... I'm not saying it is bad to look for jobs, but as we all know, you can never be financially free if you depend solely on salary. It is on this premise that I decided to take the bold step to teach you the steps that have worked for me, both in my personal life and my journey towards making wealth. This is because I believe strongly in financial wisdom and freedom. What then is financial freedom? It is simply the ability to get whatever you want that you could not get in the past due to a lack of money. Financial freedom is a huge liberty from many problems, and as the biblical saying goes, money answereth all things. Having said this, let me briefly inform you of the fact that without financial wisdom, you cannot attain financial freedom. Financial wisdom is the ability to spend money right. Some may ask, how do you spend money right? Spending money right involves spending on needs rather than wants and using money to gain money. Money is a seed, and a farmer does not eat all his seed, or he would have nothing to plant come the next season. There is no better multiplier of wealth than an adequate understanding of this simple fact. Who is this book for? This book is for anybody and everybody seeking to gain financial freedom. Financial literacy is not limited to a single walk of life, race, or color. The few who have been able to gain financial wisdom in every society have been able to come out top of the chain and have lived stable, healthy lives free of all financial worries. After listening to this book, you would have gained understanding in the following areas. Number 1, what financial literacy is in its simplest form. Number 2, why financial literacy is important. Number 3, an in-depth understanding of money and why it should work for you and not the other way around. Number 4, the need to save. And number 5, how to make your money work for you, aka investment. Number 3.
Hello, everybody. Are you ready? Everybody, are you ready? Oh, I see you guys. So now it's time to do the front row call. The first person in the front row who indicated that they are in the front row is Ogbonna Opuna. Hey, Mr. Ogbonna, how are you? Thank you for sitting in the front seat. Who else is sitting in the front seat? Please drop it in the comment section. Let me know. Let's see ourselves. Let's pose for a selfie. If you are sitting at the front, if you're in the front row, I want to see your comments now. Indicates like, hey, front row peeps, we're here, we're here. Let me see the comment section buzzing. How are you doing? Good evening and welcome to day 2 of the Becoming Summit, Becoming Servant Leaders. Woohoo! Child says, I'm in front, sir. Oh, amazing. Olusegun says, front row here. Thank you for coming in. Please fill the front row. Please don't let any seats be left out in the front row, okay? So that we can have the latecomer seat at the back. Lydia Awuzie says, front row. You're welcome, sis. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Welcome. Temi Lolua says, hi, everyone. Hi, Temi. How are you? Please, can you just drop where you are connecting from? Let us ensure that we tell the world that this is a global summit, okay? Tell us where you're connecting from as you join the live session. You're welcome. If you were here yesterday, please, can we brag a little bit about yesterday's session? How did it hit you? Left, right, center, top and bottom. How did it hit you? What did you go away with? What were your aha moments? Let's drop it in the comment section so that we can, feed the people who missed out yesterday and let them know that we had such an amazing time yesterday. So I want to see the comments coming. As they come, I'll be displaying it on the screen. So let it keep it coming. Thank you for the excitement, Ogbonna. That's the spirit. That's the energy that we want to feel in the summit today. This is virtual. The only way I can know that you are with me, that you are together with us, that you are feeling, the speakers is when you show it in the comment section. So let's keep that comment section buzzing. Wow, Ogbonna says from Maiduguri, Borno State, Nigeria. Amazing. Thank you for being here. Child says from Ghana. Wow, Chale, it's saying you. You're welcome. Akwaba, all the way from Ghana. Oh my goodness. Our moderator for tomorrow is here to say hi. Mo, thank you so much for being here. You are welcome. Lydia Awuzie says, me, Enugu, Nigeria, fantastic. How is Enugu today? Thank you so much for joining. Brenda has started with the light bulb moments from yesterday. She says, be intentionally present in the life of your children. Wow, that was massive. That was like boom. I think that was Dr. Deji who gave us that yesterday. Be present in the life of, as a father, as a servant leader, as a servant father, be present. Don't be an absentee daddy. Some people are there, like they're physically there, but they're absent. Okay, so be present. Thank you for giving us that reminder. Dominique La Fortune, thank you from North Carolina, USA. I see you, sis. I just got your email that there was a delay in your in getting the replay. I'll reach out to you after now. Thank you so much for connecting all the way from the US of A. We love you, sis. We love you. Thank you so much. Modupe, Brenda says from Dubai. Yes, sis. We were together earlier today. Thank you so much for connecting tonight. Mo all the way from Lagos. You are welcome. Thank you. And Modupe Shomorin says, hello everyone from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you, Modupe. It's so amazing to have you here. Dorcas says North Cyprus. Can you just imagine that? Dorcas Aderibibe, we love you. Thank you for joining today all the way from North Cyprus. You are welcome. Thank you for being here. So you see, guys, we are global. This is a global summit, okay? Smart Inspiration says, I'm at the height. Oh, gosh, you are so amazing. Like, you own it. Like, see, carry the table. In fact, do you have a crown? Or do you have what's that thing they call? A sachet? Like, high table guest. You know what I'm saying? Amazing. Thank you so much. Like, you guys are awesome. Thank you for being here today. Today promises to be amazing. Our speakers are already in the studio, like chilling and waiting for them. Like, hey, Ejiro, please, can you hurry up and bring me on stage? Like, they are ready for us, okay? Adam Olusumade says, hi, everyone. Adams, hi. How are you? Where are you connecting from? Let us know. Confidence, Afia Ikom says, hey, what's up, sis? I'm raising my hands to you too. What's up? What's up? What's up? Mo, thank you so much. Sandy's Asamoah says, hello everyone from Ghana. Hey, my Charlie, how far? How you day? What's in the sup? Hey, Etisenyo, hey, Akwaba. Welcome. Onome says we're here. Thank you for being here. Adams Olusumade is from Festac Town, Lagos. Thank you so much. Yes. Smile says, I'm connected from Ghana. Oh, you remind me of the Smile internet provider in Ghana. Thank you so much for connecting. Okay, guys, we have done enough welcome. Please, I'm going to urge you to kindly share this link. We need more people to see it, because what we want to talk about, is quite important. Okay. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? I'm getting a feedback that the audio is not clear. Please, can you confirm for me in the comment section that you can hear me clearly, so that I can know that this is, so we can sort it out. Please confirm for me that you can hear me clearly. Yes, so Brenda, yes, your people from Ghana, they are representing they are representing Kra. Hey, my Chale people. All right, thank you so much. Okay, I hear you. You say you can hear me. You can hear me. Sir, I can be heard. So please check your network, because you are about to come up, sir. Okay? So, sir, I think the network is clear. Everybody can hear me. Thank you. Thank you so much for that confirmation. You guys are just amazing. Lydia Ude says, another light bulb moment from yesterday says, from 10 laws of being an intentional father, law of self-motivation. Amazing. That was from Mr. Anil Thomas, who shared with us 10 laws of being an intentional father. Thank you for reiterating that with us today. If you got my email yesterday, I want you to also come up with your own light bulb moment. Now, not just quotes, right, from the authors, from the speakers, but what did you get? What was your own message? You can send that to me and attach your image to it, and then we're going to create a quotable quote with your image and post on our social media handle, just so we know that you got something from the Becoming Summit. Okay, so please keep sharing. Thank you for the confirmation. Please, thank you for the confirmation. Please keep sharing this link with more people. Share on your WhatsApp status, share on your Facebook pages and page, your Facebook pages and your walls, right, on your Facebook account. Share on your Instagram, stories, so that more people can join us, because today we are going to the marketplace. And I believe here, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 20 of you are already business owners, or you are looking to start a business. And our speakers today are amazing people in the marketplace. Like, they are top shots. Like they are top shots. You know, when they say orgas, like people who lead in regional positions in their companies, people owning companies, conglomerates. People owning companies and leading amazing people, right? They are the ones speaking to us. So they are speaking from top-notch experiences, okay? So let us come in, grab your notes, grab your pen, okay? And let us begin to take notes, okay? Mudukwe says very clear from my end. Thank you so much. Lydia confirms that they can hear me. Hey, Charles Ebeda say why? Hey, thank you so much. We can hear you, all right? Thank you. Onome dropped another point that says, my most memorable moment yesterday was our parents can catch a glimpse of their children's purpose. Woof! I'm sure that was from the Purpose Preachers session. Pastor, yes, he's a pastor as well, but Dr. Samuel Ekundayo gave us boom last night. We've been raising purposeful children. Dedicate your children, like forget them for God's hand. Say, hey, my children, God, hand them over. I hand them over to you. Take over their lives. And you just show them who they are in God. And that was so fantastic. Thank you. Dr. Chibuzo is here. Dr. Chibuzo, oh my goodness, all the way from the US. Says energetic bunny, Ejira, I feel you. Says thank you so much, Mama. I feel you too. Thank you for joining. Thank you for connecting tonight. Okay, as we're getting ready for our first speaker to come up, we're having a little bit of technical challenges with our first speaker. So just give us a little bit minutes. And then we'll have that sorted and he will be coming up shortly. But while we do that, keep bringing in your light bulb moment from yesterday. And then also, guys, we gave an offer yesterday. I don't know, maybe you're here, maybe you are not an author, but I'm sure that there would be 1 or 2 or 3 authors here. So I don't know why you're not grabbing the opportunity to get your audiobook out. Man, guys, the word is going audio, okay? And apart from that, we're talking about servant leadership, and you're serving with the knowledge that you have garnered and you have put inside your book. And there are some set of people that will never be able to reach the book because, number one, they're probably visually impaired, so they can't see, or they can't see clearly, right? But they can hear and they can listen. We need to reach those people with the great work that you have done with your book, okay? But they're very busy people, very busy executives. They're always commuting, and their commuting is like 2 hours, 3 hours, day in, day out. Do you know how many books they can listen to in 2 or 3 hours, right? So we need to reach those people. And then there are the people who are just naturally auditory learners. They learn by listening. So when you have your book in audio, you are also able to reach a wider audience. So please jump on that offer and jump on it and let us help you produce your audiobooks, okay? Great one. Thank you, Jokas Jr. for joining. MF Vanderboy. Yes. So good to see you, ma'am. Oh my God, such a small world. I saw you today. I met you today, and that was great. I'm like, oh, yes. This was divine. Thank you so much for being here, for connecting. Yeah. Exactly. Please hail, if you see anybody you know on the call, hail them and say, hey, Pips, I see you. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. So just quickly, before I call on our first speaker for the day, I'm going to play you that offer again in case you missed it. I'm going to play it for you one more time, and then we're going to bring up our first speaker for the day. Okay? Are we okay with that? Are we good? Say yes. Are we good? I'm communicating. I need to see that we're good. Are we good? Can I get a yes, we're good? Can I get a yes, we are good? Can I please talk to me? I can't see the comments yet. Talk to me. Please talk to me. Yes, Dominic, you are awesome. You are legend. You are the real MVP. All right, Brenda, I see you. Yes, I see you guys. Okay. All right, I'll quickly play that, and then our speaker will be ready for us in just about a minute. Okay, so enjoy this announcement and please take action. I'm going to share the link again in the comment section. All you need to do is click the one that concerns you, whether you're an author who wants to produce your audiobook, or you are somebody, a creative who wants to learn how to do the same thing that I do. I want to teach you in a 1-week bootcamp. Okay, enjoy this announcement. I will be right back.
Hello, my name is Edirin Edewo. I'm the founder of the Online Publishers and Entrepreneurs Network, otherwise known as Open. Open is a community of writers, authors, and entrepreneurs around the world who come together to learn how to create published assets to build our influence, impact, and income. In commemoration of our 4th anniversary coming up on the 20th of June 2021, we are partnering with the Becoming Summit and Ejiro Osakede to give 10 people the opportunity to have 50% grant when they sign up to get their audiobooks published. This opportunity is for authors who already have books created and published and want to actually create an audiobook version of their books. So the first 10 people to actually register, beginning now from when you're actually listening to this at the Becoming Summit, the first 10 people to register will get 50% grant from us at Open to help them get their books published. We're also giving a 50% grant to people who want to sign up for Ejiro Osakede's Audiobooks Bootcamp. It's a 1-week program dedicated to teaching you how to create audiobooks, to teach you how to mix and edit sounds, and also teach you how to create an extra stream of income by creating audiobooks for authors. Now, we have opportunity for 20 people, 10 of who are authors already, who want to get their books created into audiobooks, and 10 people who want to learn how to create an extra stream of income by learning how to create audiobooks for other people as well. If this is you and you would like to be part of this, please see the information in any of the screen, whether it's up or down, or maybe in the information scrolling below, for details on how to register for any of this. And note that all you need to do is just register, and we will take care of 50% of your registration fees for you. Thank you so much to Ejiro and to the Becoming Summit and to Mixiform Books, who's bringing this opportunity to people out there. We appreciate you and we wish you the best of luck. Thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of the summit. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to bring up our next speaker. And while we're doing his intro, his bio, I'm going to share the link in the comment section for you to click on the one that concerns you. Okay, so our first speaker is no other than Temitope Bandele. Okay, all the way from Ivory Coast. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, we global. I told you so. So listen, we're bringing him up right now after this introduction.
Temitope Bandele. Temitope Bandele is the Director, Customer Supply Chain Africa for Friesland Campina. He leads senior managers across 4 regions to deliver an excellent customer experience across 42 countries in Africa. Previously, he worked with multinationals like Unilever, Procter & Gamble and Hydrodive at senior management level in Nigeria and across Africa, where he helped these organizations to deliver integrated business objectives through people with purpose by creating an enabling environment for the team to deliver productive and sustainable business operations. Temitope TT, as he prefers to be addressed, is a polymath, career and financial coach, creative entrepreneur, content creator, and an unrepentant investor. He is the creative director of a multi-dynamic value network under the name Masterclass with Tope Bandele MCTB. MCTB is a platform that comprises various dynamic purpose and value-driven individuals. As a coach and a mentor, he has established himself in contributing to people's capacity in the areas of career, finance, health, and personal finances, and has a strong passion in seeing young adults grow into becoming successful and fulfilled in their chosen endeavor. He runs several platforms under MCTB like MCTB Teens Club, MCTB Educational Hub, MCTB Mentoring Network, MCTB Wellness and Fitness Hub, and founded an investment education platform under the name My Investment Africa, MIA. He is a certified member of several international professional bodies like CPIM, CIPS UK, and NIM. He holds a master's degree in operations and supply chain management. He is also the founder of the Supply Chain Professionals Forum in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking on how to stay relevant in the marketplace, please welcome Temitope Bandele.
Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining from. How you doing? Okay, Ejiro, I wish I can just have the kind of energy you have. That energy it's I don't know. If I try to copy that, I probably would not would have to sleep for 2 days in order to recover. How you doing, everyone? Depending on where you're hearing me from today or where you're watching me from, I want to say a very good afternoon, good evening to you. And I want to say a very big thank you. Thank you so much to Ejiro, the convener of this particular summit. This 2.0. The 1.0 was really, really amazing as well for those of you that were in that particular session. And now this is 2.0. So let's go straight into it. No more introduction. We've had all the introductions. So let's go straight. I just hope you can hear me. If you can hear me, can I just see some comments in the box just to be sure that you can hear me? Okay. Let's see. All right. I just want a comment, just one comment, to be sure that you guys can hear me. Okay. Good. All right. All right, so I want to believe that you can hear me. So let's go straight into it. So what are we talking about today? So becoming servant leader, that's the theme itself. And we will try to focus in the next 20 minutes thereabouts. We will try to focus on marketplace leaders, and then we're going to talk about how to stay relevant in that marketplace. All right, so what is actually marketplace? Marketplace is that platform where you operate. Marketplace is that platform where you earn money. Marketplace is that platform where you add value. Marketplace is that platform where you actually give and also take. All right, so it's a platform where the exchange happens. I try to look for the definition of marketplace leaders. I saw quite a number of definitions, but most of them tilted towards the religion part of being a marketplace leader. Yes, I love that. All right, so we're going to talk the godly part. We're also going to talk the secular part. We're going to talk professional parts today in about a few minutes. All right, so what is my own definition? Everyone can have their own definition of marketplace. You can create yours depending on how it interprets to you. All right, so I define marketplace leader as that leader who can be said to be relevant in the marketplace. Markets where it could be ministry, it could be a church, you could be a pastor, it could be in career, it could be your profession, or it could even be in the home as a father or as a mother, depending on what gender you are. So it could also be in your community. A lot of people had made a mistake by thinking leadership or your relevance as leadership, as a leader, is actually about your competence. It's actually about what you have done, but that is not true. All right, your relevance as a leader is actually in the capacity of your followers. It's in the capacity of your congregation. It's in the capacity of your subordinates. All right, what can they do? What can they say you have done in their lives? What have you impacted into them? So this is what we're going to talk about today. So a lot of people are leaders today, and they can boast of their achievements, about what they've been through, about the trainings they've had, and then the progression they've also had. But a lot of them fail to realize that you can only measure your relevance as a leader when you look at the people that are following you. The only criterion of true leadership, of a servant leader, is your team performance. How well can your team perform based on what you have put into them, based on what you have actually, the level you have taken them into? All right, so that's what we're going to talk about in a couple of minutes. All right, so what are those aspects of servant leadership? I have a couple of, if you like, I will advise that you get your pen and paper, all right, to write a couple of things today. And also, yes, we are good. Thank you so much. So let's have an engagement. Let's have a conversation. The first thing I think you as a market leader should do, or for you to actually be recognized as a servant leader, is to create atmosphere for the followers to flourish and to succeed. What do I mean by this? Your responsibility should be on how your followers can actually climb that ladder, either in the profession they have chosen or in the religion they have chosen, but is to make that atmosphere conducive, comfortable for them, in order for them to thrive and achieve their purpose and their aim for being in that particular market. I will keep using the word market today, but in your mind, just interpret that market as where you have found yourself right now to make to add value, as where you have found yourself to also take value. All right, and as I said before, it could be your place of work, it could be your church, it could be anywhere where you find yourself. So how do you as a leader create atmosphere for your followers to flourish? We'll talk about that in a bit. All right, the second one is you shouldn't have one single style of leadership. Some will tell you, no, I am a conventional leader. I'm an authoritative leader. No, I am a visionary leader. Yes. But how about the followers that are with you? They cannot all be the same. One size cannot fit all. And that is the mistake a lot of leaders make today, even in the place of work, that I say, yeah, this is my style. All right, this is my style. This is how I want to go about it. No one can change it. Such leader cannot actually boast of being a servant leader. Such leader cannot actually boast of the development of his own followers. All right, people don't leave companies. As I say, They leave leaders. You don't leave your church to join another church just because you want to do so. You probably leave your church to join another church because of the leaders in that church, because the values you get in that church does not align with your own principle, and you don't see the future in where we're going to. Sorry, I'm using the word church as well. I'm a believer, and I know a lot of you are also believers as well. All right. So, what is another characteristic of a servant leader? They know when to use the appropriate type. They are quite flexible. They know when to use a rod. They know when to use a carrot. They know when to use the stick. They know when to be hard. They know when to be authoritative. And they know when to be collaborative. We will talk about that if we have time, maybe also on different styles. The next one is they know their role in the team. Okay, so the mistakes so many people also have made, I will cite a few of examples today, is that they just believe, yes, I am a leader today, I'm the director, I'm the manager, so my role in this team right now is to direct. That is absolutely wrong. And that is actually the beginning of failure. Your role as a true servant leader is first to understand your followers' strength and weakness and use them in the right strength, and also help them to build that strength up to fulfill their purpose. And for those that you've identified their weakness, is for you to help them really be able to overcome such weakness in order for them to also be able to fulfill their objective and their purpose. And while they do this, they are already handing up to you, and then you will continually see that you don't have to be everywhere even as a leader. You don't have to do everything even as a leader. The more you build your people, the more you develop them, the less work you even have to do. This is one secret that a lot of people don't realize. So many people believe that, yes, now I'm at the top of this career ladder. Yes, then I have to tell everybody what to do. I have to decide on who does what. No, this is one big mistake that people make. So let's go straight. Leadership is not about actually being the best. It is, you are a leader today not because you are the best in what you do. You are a leader today because some people have seen that you have the capacity of building, developing other leaders, and that is why you have been given that responsibility of leadership. So how well can you make use of that responsibility that you have? How well can you bring the best in others? The marketplace leader is the one that can develop himself in his own followers. I have a friend that actually had a career stunt at a particular time, not because it wasn't good, but because he found it so hard to actually build himself in others. Then the company, the organization actually saw him as a professional. They don't want to also get rid of him, and they don't also want to lose him. So, but the manager he worked with was also not ready to release him even to higher step, because there are some establishments whereby you don't get promoted just into another role, you get promoted into another responsibility. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if you want to grow in life, in career, in your profession, even as a family man, even as a pastor, as a politician, the first rule is develop yourself in others. What I say, develop yourself in others. It's about making that difference in the life of your followers and providing directions for them, providing guidance for them towards their own success. When they succeed, automatically you will succeed. Okay, your leadership directly affects the way people feel about working for you. If you do not have your loyalists, if you don't have those that trust you so much, there is no way that they will be able to carry your objective, carry your ambition, carry your vision to success. No. In every organization that you work or we find ourselves, there is a certain level of commitment we should give to our resources, we should give to our followers, to get them to that level whereby they will be so loyal to you, for the lack of any other words, that they will even be willing to die for you. I have seen people tell me and say, Titi, you know what? We believe in your leadership in such a way that we know that you have the right plan for us. When your followers believe in you to help them grow their own career and help them develop themselves, then commitment is sure. Then you don't force loyalty, you build loyalty. A lot of people today just put armor on people and say, this one is not loyal to me. What have you done to them for them to be loyal to you? I am loyal to my boss today. That does not mean that I do not challenge him. But I have trusted him enough in a way that I know that this man is leading me to a place where he will always also have my back. Because he will always have my back, I can always have his back elsewhere as well. All right. Okay, so let's move on. Get your questions ready. We're going to have a panel discussion also today as well. So now, where am I going? You as a leader will need to create what we call a climate. What is a climate? A climate affects the amount of effort that people in your team will contribute. So research has actually shown that 70% of variance in teams' climate today can be explained by the leadership behavior. The way people behave in an organization, in the church, in politics, in an establishment is a function of the climate the leader has created. As I said, people don't leave their jobs, they leave their leaders. The more you as a leader try to improve their climate, the higher their performance and productivity. Stop focusing only on yourself as a leader. A selfish leader will always be left alone in the time when he's needed, when he needs people most. Because they believe, oh, everything is just about it. No, he never cares about what we feel. He just is goal-driven, he's target-driven. He just want to achieve everything irrespective of whose toes he steps on. That is not a servant leader. Okay, so how do you do it? How do you create climate? How can I create the best climate in my team? How do I know if I am actually doing it right? I'm going to share 6 things with you today. These are the 6 characteristics or the 6 elements that will make your people, your subordinates, give their best. That will make your followers, your congregation, your family members. People don't even know that your home is a marketplace. The way you relate with your children, you relate with your wife, determines how much they are committed to you as well. Okay, amen. All right, so the first thing is clarity. With some phonetics, it would say clarity. All right, so it's clarity. So when you're clear about where the organization is going and you pass the same clarity to your subordinates and they know where you're going, they know what their contribution should be in the objective, in the goal, in the ambition of the organization, then I tell you, efficiencies is assured. When those you are following know that where we are going, where boss is going as well, they are clear on the 12-quarter plan, they are clear on the 3-year ambition, they are clear on the top line agenda, they are clear when you're asking them questions, when you're asking them for certain activities, certain elements of their job, they know where you're going, they can help you. Even when the questions are not clear, they already know, no. If he's asking for A, I know he needs A because someone has asked him for B and C. So if he's asking for C, someone has asked him for A and B. So why not just I provide ABC for him in order for him to also look good with his own boss? Clarity. As a servant leader, you have to lead with clarity. Ambiguity leads to failure. Ambiguity, when you're too ambiguous and you don't even know your left from your right, you just want to drive people as slaves, there is no way quality work can ever be done. And you will never be seen as a true market leader. Number 2, because of our time, is standard. No one is ready to associate with mediocrity. All right? This is the continual emphasis on improvement and excellence. Every other time, stop the competition, stop external competition, compete internally. How can we be better than what we have done yesterday? How can we be better than our last month? How can we be better than our last year? Even in your family, even in your church. A lot of people have left churches today because of the quality of worship. A lot of people have left churches today because of the quality of the word. As a servant leader, you should not downplay standard. Even Christianity does not teach us, no, just do it anyhow. It doesn't really matter. What matters is, yes, the kingdom of God. If the worship is not good, we are here to just serve God. No. And the way you as a leader define standard in your organization, in your establishment, in your place of worship, this is the same way your followers will go with it. This is the same way they will define it. Today in the world, in the music, in the secular world, I am a bit pained that the quality of music I hear even in the secular world today, in terms of quality, is tending to even beat the quality of music in the gospel. It's I don't know how to say this. It's really, really, really trying to play catch up. And that is why you see a lot of youth today still tending and flowing towards that secular path, because some of them lack or they've not seen standard in the gospel. The same way in the organization where you work, uphold standard, irrespective of the time it takes you, and make sure you pass the standard quality, pass it down to your people. All right. The third one is flexibility. There are no unnecessary rules and procedures, no ambiguity. When your good ideas are acted upon, when you listen. I've been in a boardroom where a leader said to an employee and said, "My friend, you are here to be seen and not to be heard." Wow. That automatically broke down this guy. It broke him down, because this leader has always been used to seeing top managers in the boardroom, but the day a top manager assigned a junior manager to sit for him, he condemned that and felt, no, why should this be? I don't want to see a junior person in this particular board. No. How flexible are you to even change your rules sometimes to suit the people that you follow? I'm not saying play what's the word now? I'm not asking you to actually all the time obey or listen to what your people say. No. I'm actually trying to define flexibility here. Flexibility, it's not you saying yes, sir, to your subordinate. It's you saying, yes, I understand you. What do you think we can do? I really appreciate your input. Even if it's not the right, can we do it different? Do you see it differently? It gives that employee a form of courage, and it gives that employee a form of assurance that one day you're going to listen to him, and this person will be ready to come with you with better ideas the next time. Okay, so the first one is responsibility. Responsibility. When you empower your team to get on with their job and you hold them accountable for it, then you are really a marketplace leader. Then you are a servant leader. It is not just about you giving them jobs that you feel now. It's not about you claiming even their glory. It's not about you asking them to do something, and when they send it to you, you change the offer and you send that work out as yours. No, that's not what we're talking about. Give them the responsibility, demand accountability, and then watch them grow. All right, so we've talked about clarity, we talked about standards, we've talked about flexibility. Now the fourth one, responsibility. The fifth one is reward. This is one that so many top managers, including even HR, some HRs don't want to hear. They receive when your subordinates receive appropriate recognition for their level of contribution, then loyalty is assured. Even in the Bible, in Deuteronomy 24, verse 14 to 15, it talked about, I will paraphrase now, that even if this person is your brother or your kinsman, you still have to give him the reward equivalent to the effort he has put in place. So as a servant leader, we are not the servants there. It does not mean slave. So when you slave people, you can only do that for a very short time. And when you slave people, you will never get the quality out of them. When you slave people, you can never have them. You can never have their trust. When you slave people, they will never be responsible for the tax you give to them. When you slave people, you cannot hold them accountable for what they have done right or what they have done wrong. So as leaders, reward is key. Don't deprive people of their wage. The Bible said it. Every laborer is entitled to their wage. And focus and be careful to always review rewards as well. Don't just assume that no, because he's driving a Lexus RX360 is comfortable, because he's living in his own house. No, and you keep adding more and adding more to it. I personally won't take that, and I do not expect that my team also should take that from me. Whenever my responsibility increases, and I do not hear anything from HR or my organization, I demand for it. All right, so now this has increased. What are we talking about? So where am I right now in the KIDA, in the percentile? Can we have a review on this? Can we have a discussion on this? This also helps to provide this clarity that we talked about in the first point. All right, the sixth one is team's commitment. There's pride, and when there's pride and trust in the organization, when you actually believe that there is no Superman, but you have a super team. When you actually don't believe that one person is better than the other because they carry your bags for you or they wash your cars for you. When you don't play favoritism within your team, when you don't actually have some certain people that you love more than the other, not because of the work they do, but because of the gossip they bring to you, or because of the side talk they say, because they reveal other people's secrets to you, and then you become so acquainted with them, you become so close to them, and you give them that preference or priority over others. As a leader, then if you do this, you are tending towards failure. It will be a full disaster at the end of the day. All right, so those are the 6 I'm going to talk about again: clarity, standard, flexibility, responsibility, reward, and team commitment. So now you know what the climate is. This is how to create a climate in your organization. Oh, EJ, I think you're coming on. My time is up, right? How much minutes do I have? 2.
Like you already went past your minute, but so we'll give you 1 more minute to round up, sir.
Thank you so much. So 1 more minute, and that one last thing I would love to say is, there are attitudes and behaviors that great leaders use to drive personal and team performance. They go beyond academic qualification. They go beyond technical skills. They go even beyond experience. And they support and sustain your use of full range of leadership style. And this leadership style, which we don't have time to talk about, is, of course, the visionary, the affiliative, the participative, the coaching, the pace setting, and directive. We will have time to talk about this one sometimes in future. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are all leaders in our own little way. Wherever you are, wherever you find yourself, always have it at the back of your mind that what makes you as a leader is not your efficiency or your effort, is in the capacity that you build at the level below you. And these are the people that we are actually. What will your subordinates say about you? Always do this check. Okay, let people do this survey for you. Let them ask your team, who is TT, who is EJ. Whatever they say about you, that is actually your own definition as a marketplace leader. Thank you very much. Thanks, EJ.
Wow. Thank you so much, guys. Can we say thank you to Coach TT here? Please. I see all your comments already. I see how you are taking notes. They buy into your vision as a result of flexibility, says Mo S. Adaize Ahikawa says the capacity that you build at the level beyond you. Leadership is the capacity that you put at the level beyond you. Hey, my sister, my soul sister is here. Firelighter is here. Says we are all leaders in our own little way. Absolutely so. Absolutely so. Thank you. See your team. Thank you to you. Thank you. All right. So our time is fast spent here in this session. We're going to move swiftly to the next session. But please put your question aside. Please take note of your question, because at the end of when all the speakers are done, we're going to all come back and then have a panel session. And we're going to be taking some questions from you while I also ask the speakers some questions. Okay. So thank you so much, Coach Titi. Thank you for such a wonderful session. I'll take you back and I'll bring up our next speaker. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Keep the comment section buzzing. You see how you were responding to Coach Titi, and that's why he kept churning out those good stuff. So please keep the comment section buzzing. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up our next speaker, who is Akishola Dawodu. But he's called ASD, Akishola Dawodu, but now everybody says Shola Dawodu. He is called the SME Catalyst, and you're going to see him shortly. He'll be speaking on leading from behind. Is this a good strategy or not? Find out in about 2 minutes thereabouts. You're welcome, sir.
Shola Daudu. Shola Daudu, FIAMACMA MBA, is an entrepreneur par excellence, thought leader, and business coach. He is an Assistant Chief Enterprise Officer of the Small and Medium Enterprises Development of Nigeria, a certified entrepreneurship trainer of the International Center for Entrepreneurship and Career Development, Ahmedabad, India, a financial management MBA holder from the prestigious Ladoke Akintola University, Odumosho, and also a banking and finance graduate, certified creative enterprise trainer by British Council. He is the author of the books 19 Greatest Mistakes to Avoid as an Entrepreneur and Changing the Game After COVID-19. He has trained over 20,000 SMEs and 5,000 youth in his capacity and carried out oversight functions as determined by the agency. A former banker, having worked in defunct FSB, GT Bank and Fidelity Bank PLC, certified trainer from Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, currently a lead trainer on the European Union IOM Joint Initiative on Business Skills Development for Reintegration of Nigerian Returnees. He is the convener of SME Think Tank platform, which has about 300 entrepreneurs in different areas of businesses growing rapidly, and registered as an association with the Corporate Affairs Commission. Shola Daudu is a certified International Labour Organization SIYB trainer from Turin, Italy. Also a lead trainer on the UK EBST for Victims of Trafficking VOT and Reintegration of Returned Migrant Program. He has also carried out and supervised community development projects and volunteering humanitarian service projects. He is also a fellow of the Institute of Agribusiness Management in Nigeria and co-partner for Laniv Agro-Allied Services, member governing board of All Farmers Association of Nigeria, Lagos chapter. He was recently appointed as a mentor on the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund mentoring beneficiaries of the project. He is a faculty member at the Rome Business School, Nigeria for MBA students and recently awarded Business Mentor of the Year 2020 by the Iconic Brands Awards. He is happily married with children. Speaking on leading from behind, a good strategy or not. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shola Daudu.
Hello.
Sir, you can go on. We can hear you. We can see you. Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm glad to be here. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Yes. Just let me know that you can hear me.
Yes, we can. We can hear you, sir.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, fantastic. Well done, Ejiro. Thank you for putting me on this platform. It's such a great moment for me. I salute your doggedness, your tenacity, the energy, that which you vibe with. Titi has actually said so much. I mean, the way you carry on and you push and keep pushing and keep pushing. It's so much a fantastic deal for me, despite everything. And thank you for putting up this platform, the TV Summit. I am glad to be here this evening. I mean, right from yesterday, I've been listening to great speakers ahead of me. Titi just done a wonderful job. And now I am also...
Sorry to come in quickly. The people are saying they can't see your face clearly. So if there is a possibility to have a better lighting for your face, fantastic. Or you can just probably maybe clean the lens a little bit, but we can't see your face clearly. Your face is dark. We would like to see you clearly if there's more lighting.
Okay, in a bit.
Yes.
Is it better? Can you see me now?
A little bit better. Guys, please, let's manage. We can hear him clearly. Let's go for it. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. So I've been amazed with a lot of speakers that have been dishing out content, great vibes, and I'm happy to be here. I am looking at the topic becoming servant leaders. You know, that is a very critical factor in becoming a true leader in the society, and as well in the political space or in the marketplace, just as we have been saying since now. So I would like to start with an example. Some days ago, some years back, you know, when I was still in the banking institution, just after a little bit after my exit, I had to be caused to go into the market, you know, to purchase an item. And getting there, I stood for like 40 minutes. You know, there were the staffs were attending to so many customers, and here was this boss that was just sitting down, crossing her leg, and she was just gisting, you know, chatting on the phone in the days of BlackBerry, and you know, and I stood for 40 minutes. I kept calling this lady, young lady. You know, she went back and forth, bringing items for the customer, doing this and that and that. And, you know, for the first 20, 30 minutes, nobody attended to me. And I was pissed off. I was like, come on, what is this? So I picked an item and I actually threw it to the desk of the madam that was sitting there just to call her attention. And she was furious. She was like, what is happening? This, that, why would I do that? I said, look, come on, get off it. You want to kill these girls? They'll be going back and forth to attend to your clients, and yet you are sitting down like the MD CEO, the Alpha and Omega of this business. You do not want to do anything at all. Is that the way it's supposed to be? And so I left in anger, and believe me, a lot of customers complain. That is the problem with Nigerians. That is the problem with everyone that seems to who wants to operate in the marketplace. That seems to be the problem with an entrepreneur anywhere. We haven't get into a particular state. We want to start claiming that we are the boss. Everybody wants to be the CEO of Naimi Nayu Nigeria Enterprises. So once you have a desk, a small portfolio, you want to become a madam. You know, so that's the problem. But now we are talking about becoming servant leaders, leading from behind. Is it a good strategy or not? I will say it is a good strategy for me. Now, firstly, maybe we should look at what a servant leader is. A servant leader is somebody, you know, that puts the needs of the employees first. Puts the needs of the employees first and helps people to develop and perform as logically as possible, as highly as possible. He is not stingy with his ideas. He has the right attitude to work. He has the right frame of mind. He has good mindset. These are the people that will allow other junior staffs working with them, other colleagues working with them, to exercise their freedom in times of creativity, in times of idea generation, in times of expression of interest in anything, contribution to goals and objectives of any organization. And so we have found that over the years, we have good leaders that have actually done this. We have, for example, we have Mahatma Gandhi, we have Nelson Mandela, we have Mother Teresa, and we also have Abraham Lincoln. And one of the things that I like to point you to note is that one critical factor that made Obama succeeded as the president of the United States of America, past president, is because he applied the servant leadership role. He led from behind. And today, he is proud and glad that his successor, his colleague, is now the president. I'm talking about Biden. And so, what this servant leadership does is that it demonstrates the ability of you to bring people together, which people naturally come out of the people, to bring people together to achieve a particular goal without inhibiting them, but yet guiding them through ways to achieve that thing. Now, so what are the roles of a servant leader? Like we said, you know, it concentrates on performance, it develops team physically, socially, morally, emphatically, spiritually. It issues instructions and guides them throughout all the process. It coaches people to succeed. It is a natural thing. It's an inborn thing. A servant leader stands for we and not I. We and not me alone. It's a collective purpose, even though the boss stops at his table. Now, so leading from behind is a principle that has been applied over the years by several multinationals. Several of them. We have HPS that has done that. Coca-Cola has also done that. So many people. And this is what is lacking in the marketplace today. This is what is happening in the political forum today, where people do not have sufficient skills, sufficient talent. They want to be here and there. They want to be the almighty. They want to do everything by themselves. And therefore, this translates into chaos for them. This issue also goes as far as affecting their family. Now, so what are the principles of servant leader? There's so many principles. Titi has mentioned so many things before I came up. This encourages diversity of thought. Encourages diversity of thought. It creates a culture of trust. It creates a culture of trust. You cannot perform excellently if you do not trust your colleagues to exhibit or demonstrate a level of responsibility. The buck falls on you. And so, as the servant leader, for you to be able to successfully lead from behind, not necessarily seen by the people that you are the boss or you are the leader, you need to give room to encourage them to develop their ideas, talent, skills, ambition, character, to ensure that they do what is needed at the right time. If you set principles, if you set job responsibilities, you help them to apply the principles needed to achieve that responsibility. And also you make use of the carrot and stick approach. Nobody wants to work with a servant leader and just exit like that. What happens on the ultimate run is anybody leaving a servant leader, somebody that is leading from behind and has demonstrated that capacity, is actually going to duplicate what he has been mentored upon or what he has been coached upon. There are several times where people walk into the organization and the CEO of the company sits down at the front desk with the receptionist. I once read the story of Sonny Adetu, who was one of the top head guy in Guinness, Nigeria. On a flight to Dublin, and he met these white guys talking about coming to Nigeria and everything to invest, and they were talking blah blah. They were coming to Nigeria to invest in their breweries and everything, blasting and blabbing and everything, all manners of things. And it was just encouraging them to come back to Nigeria to do their business. He gave them the rules, he gave them what it takes, the policy framework, business framework, everything they needed to know. And the guys were appearing, seemed to appear as though they knew everything. But on the day of the meeting, when they finally got to Guinness, they were shocked when they met the same guy as the MD CEO. Being a servant leader gives you a very free mindset that is not selfish. It fosters leadership in others. It fosters leadership in others. It helps you to identify leadership traits amongst your peers, amongst your colleagues, amongst everyone. It also helps you to create a culture of trust. I think I've said that before. And this is what is lacking in the society today. Some fathers, let's narrow it down to the family. This starts from the family. I hear some men that they cannot cook in the house for their wives. I hear some men that they said they cannot do house chores or support the, to take care of the welfare of the kids. What you don't have, you can't give. And what you give, you get in multiplied for. It's the law of multiplication. What your children sees you do is what they are going to replicate when they grow up. So I'd like you to know that over times, leading from behind doesn't necessarily mean you are not the leader, you are not in charge. It doesn't mean you are not in charge. It doesn't mean that you are not taking decisions. Leading from the back is like trying to lead a flock of sheep. When you stay behind and you guide them on the left, on the right, not to fall astray, and you allow them to move, knowing fully well they know and understand the aims and objectives of what they are supposed to achieve. You need to be deliberately involved in the affairs of running your home. Nobody knows it all. And therefore, most successful business owners in the marketplace that we have seen today have actually demonstrated that capacity by allowing people to take specific portfolios in their businesses and to give them allowance to run it. For example, Dangote is not the only one that runs Dangote conglomerate. Why did he have to choose people from Asia, from Middle East, from Europe to join in his business? Have we thought about it? Why are some businessmen are in the habit of replicating their businesses day in, day out, and they have multiple success stories, multiple mentors, and have multiple businesses that have risen, because of the roles they have played in their lives of people, is because they have allowed people at a point in time when they were with them to exhibit their inbuilt talents. Leading from behind is a very good strategy, which simply means it is more concerned with the accomplishments of the group rather than the evaluation of personal and individual glory. I take that again. It is more concerned with the accomplishment of the group rather than the evaluation of personal and individual glory. We can always correct when we make mistakes. But maybe we should quickly look at why do people run away from leaving behind? Why do people want to be seen as the leader? Why? Number one, inferiority complex. Complex. You feel your younger boss, your younger colleagues know more than you. It's actually possible that the colleagues, your peer group, people that you work with, your colleagues in the office or in the business area, in the marketplace, actually know more than you do. And because they know more than you do, you put up a defense. You put up a wall to create a defense because you have complex. I am the CEO. Everybody wants to gesticulate. My name is MD CEO. You even have somebody that opens one shop. He wants to be the CEO. He has a business in the container. He is the MD CEO. Somebody running business from the house. He is also the MD CEO. Complex. Number 2, pride. Or you want to call it ego. These are the things that make people to boss around. Number 3, average knowledge of what happens in the marketplace. Being afraid of competition, being afraid of competitors. Number 3, low self-esteem. When you have low self-esteem, you think something is too much for you to do. You are not sure of yourself. Each time they call you, you go and hide. And therefore, you feel bossy, you puff up. There's so many millionaires on the streets of Lagos that wear slippers, that dress anyhow. It is not the size of the dog that matters. It is the size of the fight in the dog that is very important. I take that again. It is not the size of the dog that is very important. It is the size of the fight in the dog that is very important to lead in the marketplace. Incompetence. And so you won't blame some organizations that have actually promoted some people to a particular post in business, not knowing that they were putting up a face off. They promote them to the level of incompetence, to where they can no longer function in that capacity. And that becomes a problem. Now, so these points that I've enumerated, when you are incompetent on a particular post, simply make it known. You can discuss it with your colleagues. Look, I do not understand this thing. Please, can you put me to? The problem we have is we don't want to learn. You need to understand. You need to learn, unlearn, and relearn every time for you to succeed in the marketplace. You need to learn, unlearn, and relearn again every minute, every second. Now, so leading from behind does not say you are not the leader again. It doesn't mean you have delegated your position to others. It simply means it means that it is harnessing of people's collective geniuses. The act of harnessing collective geniuses. That is multitasking of people's brain. We need to humble ourselves to, to be able to get out from people. Now, if you are the bossy type, you come to the office, you just dish out instructions. Follow this thing, get this done. You don't know what you want, you don't know how you do it, you don't care, you just throw papers, you don't anything, you boss around, you puff around. You can never get the best from your colleagues. You can never get the best from your employees. You can't get the best from your employer, from your staffs. Because they will keep putting up a defense and they will jeopardize. So many people have left their businesses. So many people have changed their religious organizations in terms of places of worship just because they do not agree with the concept of the leadership that is obtainable in such places. And so, if you find yourself that you have walked the talk with any good leader, what happens when you lead is that you are going to duplicate much more better than what that person has taught you. For example, Obama, Biden. We can see it clearly. It is happening right now. In Nigeria, we have seen that. People that will hand over business to their children, and the children will take it to a greater level. Whereas we also see some that have ruined the business as well. So leading from behind does not necessarily say you are not in the picture. It means that I have given you everything you need to run. Develop, use your brain, go to the marketplace, fight competition, bring everything, and let everybody is using of collective geniuses. Bring it to play, and you find a solution to an existing problem, or you chart a new path for the company or for your family. You can sit down. A father who I'm well placed taught me something. Just for something. Now you should take this up for the family. He said, I'm the head of my family. But then, this is what I do. When I pay my children's school fees abroad, if I'm paying 2 million naira, I will send it to them and I will say, convert this money to naira. Paste it on the wall of your room. And when the boys paste it, they said, this is the kind of business I did to get that money. So that you don't think that he has money somewhere. I actually did X, Y, Z and X, Y, Z to get this money. And what betide you if you go and mess up? You see the money every day that you wake up pasted on the wall of your room. And when you come back for holidays, I am talking about people who are in 500 level university. The fathers still give them schedule of duties every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. This is what you will do. Not because you can't give them freedom, but is teaching them how to grow in the right way.
Independent.
Being independent. So what I'm going to drop here finally is an essence of people's collective geniuses has made a lot of business succeed over time than you running on your brain alone. Even the Bible says one shall chase 1,000, two shall put 10,000 to fly. Why did he mention two? One head is better than what?
Two heads are better than one.
Two heads are better than one. 2 heads are better than one. So you can't do it all alone. So sit back, relax, multitask, get here. And that's why you see those companies surviving. We have success stories of such brands in Nigeria. I can't begin to mention them that are publicated that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Guys, please, can we put it together in the comment section? Put up your brightest or your best emojis, light fire emojis in the comment section for this fireful session by the SME Catalyst himself. He has spoken a lot on a lot of things, and I really do hope that you've picked one or two things. Remember, there's going to be a panel session at the end of this session, at the end of the speaking session. We're going to bring up all the speakers, and we're going to have your questions answered. So please put your question down, like write it down. I'm also writing my own questions down, okay? So write them down, and we're going to come back in a bit to ask all our speakers the question. Thank you so much, SME Catalyst Shola for your time with us tonight. It's been an amazing time of learning. Please, I'll take you backstage now, and I'll bring you up back during the panel session. God bless you, sir. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
All right, guys, are we having fun? Are we learning something? Please let me see in the comment section if you're learning something. Remember, we're not just doing this because we have all the time in the world. These people that are here, they are super busy humans, okay? They are super busy, but they've given their time to come and, share with you today. Not because they just want to share or because they feel like they know the best. No, it's because we want to begin to have this conversation to reorient our mind, to let us know that servant leadership is the way to go. If you want to lead, you need to put yourself in a space where you are serving, and not just serving for serving's sake, but serving so that the people that you are serving can be better for it, okay? Next up online now is Mr. Taiwo Adepoju, the reinventionist or the reinventor himself. I'm going to bring him up for 20 minutes. Please, this time, we're going to keep to the time. This is 20 minutes, and he's going to do his session. And after that, we're going to have my boss, all the way from Ghana, patiently waiting. He was here earlier than everybody and he's been patiently waiting his turn. So all my Ghana people, please go and call your people. We're going to go to Ghana very soon. But before then, I'm going to bring up Mr. Taiwo Adepoju, the reinvention king or coach, right? And then we'll take it up from there. And he is going to be talking about reinvention as a strategy for servant leadership. So welcome, Mr. Taiwo O. Adepoju.
Taiwo O. Adepoju. Taiwo Adepoju has carved a niche for himself in the personal development and business strategy space with a demonstrable track record spanning over 2 decades. He is a globally certified Girl Up Strength coach, business strategist, and the chief spokesman for women in Africa. He is known as the startup specialist because of his significant exposure and experience in helping individuals and organizations overcome the fear of starting. He helps find clarity and provides support in co-creating an easily attainable plan. He recently launched a blockbuster of a book on personal and business transformation titled Reinvention, a 21-day journey of radical transformation in life, love, and business. Taiwo leans towards performance, effectiveness, and excellence with significant engagement in Africa and focuses on personal responsibility, entrepreneurship and business strategy, social impact. Taiwo is a business coach and management consultant that has led corporate strategy across the financial services, hospitality, energy, tourism, haulage, and logistics space, to mention a few. He is extensively traveled and has an invaluable depth of leadership experience in the public and private sector with a knack for taking calculated risks. He has an MBA from the Business School Netherlands and a first degree in political science at the University of Ibadan. He also has a certificate in the science of well-being from Yale University and Foundations of Positive Psychology from the University of Pennsylvania. He champions these feats through Strength Africa as managing partner and Phenomenal African Woman Foundation, which he founded to inspire, celebrate, and empower women of African descent. He is a member of Rotary International, Toastmasters International, and IBB Golf and Country Club, Abuja, where he enjoys playing golf. Taiwo and his wife, Aramide, have 3 children. Speaking on reinvention, a strategic tool for servant leadership, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Taiwo O. Adepoju.
Amazing. Great. I feel privileged to be part of this summit. I'd like to say thank you to Lady Ejiro for such great initiative. And I'm going to be running because the previous speakers have somewhat laid the basis, all right, the foundation for this discourse, and for whatever it's worth, I believe that we will all be impacted. Okay, so please follow through. I have a short time, but I'm going to run through sufficiently just so as to drop some information. And I'd like to start with a quote, all right, by Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu, he said something. He says, if you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. So the reality is that every of these things that have been said, there's a common denominator. It's also about self-awareness. But I will run ahead of myself. And let me just kind of give like a flow to what I'll be discussing today. So we're going to be delving on reinvention as a strategic tool for servant leadership. I'm also going to be sharing a reinvention story. I'll tell you the distinction between traditional leadership and servant leadership. I'll move on to talk about the traits of the servant leader, and then we begin to expose on what reinvention truly is, and some of the other things along those 3 dimensions which I shared in my earlier video as to the personal reinvention, system, and structures or processes for reinvention, and then the structural reinvention process. Okay, so my story. So I'm going to share two quick stories, and I'm hoping that some will resonate with anyone listening to us. And thank you all. Just thank you all for welcoming me on set. I see Adiola, Adeoye. All right, great, nice seeing you. I see Joanna, nice seeing you. All right, so I got to a crossroad at some point in my life. So two experiences, and I'd run a car business, all right, that grew its fleet from 3 to 42 in a space of 6 months. And at some point, we got into a crisis. The crisis we got into was as a result of the fact that we had not taken cognizance of the type of insurance that was on the vehicles. So, though the cars were insured, but they were not insured for commercial activity. And the terms we had with some of the places where we sourced these vehicles was the fact that they had insurances, but the insurances were primarily for private use. So guess what? 3 accidents within a month, and it was almost like we were going out of business. But the reality of that time, compared to now, the lessons learned is the fact that if it was now, there was a way I would have dealt with that issue. But unfortunately, because I wasn't well informed or well entrenched in some of the things I'm going to be sharing with you, we had to somewhat close that business and started to refocus on other things. The other bit is a story also around how I set out to go on another launch, a major launch, having secured a major contract with the state government in the country where I am in Nigeria, and somehow this contract was somewhat huge. It was in the papers. I was being celebrated, but somewhere, because of also some documentary gaps, well, I came to the lowest ebb in my life, where I could barely pay salaries. I had to shut the doors of my office for over 6 months. I couldn't even pay the stipends at home. It therefore meant that I'd come into that precarious situation where if you thought about self-esteem, it was completely eroded. But one eventful day, I came into the actual reality of myself, and I asked a simple question. And I'm sure you're probably also just saying, look, you need to ask yourself that question. Like, so if you're from the African background, and particularly from the Yoruba, area, you'd probably ask that, hey, have I offended anyone? or what have I done wrong? All right. And then also as a Christian, you now have to raise your cry out to God and say, hey, God, what have I done wrong? What have I done wrong? And just about that time, I got clarity as to how to go. And since then, I've stopped looking back. And that's what fueled my journey as to saying, look, I've failed severally now at so many times that it's now impossible to fail and not just fail forward. So guys, it's a roller coaster of some sort, and let's move on this beautiful journey. So guys, what do you mean by traditional leadership? The core of traditional leadership is aimed on control, authority, control, manipulation, control, just almost like putting things, just so that you could get income, all right, solely focused on income. Whereas for servant leadership, it's a timeless concept introduced by some guy called Robert Greenleaf, even though it's timeless, but it brought some, science to it. And, he says, look, a servant leader it begins first with a natural feeling that one wants to serve. Okay, so unlike driven by the selfish motive, only about income, a servant leader comes on that understanding that, hey, what can we do? And I love how our convener, Lady Ejiro, started off. He says, look, it's all about income. It's about impact also. But I'm adding the other I. It's about influence. And that's really what leadership is all about. And this difference manifests itself, when people take a cognizance of what surrounds them, what their environment espouses, and some of the things that need to be done. It will be clear to you that in Africa, the missing link is the fact that we still have the autocratic or somewhat traditional type of leaders, when we should have more of a servant leader. One of the things that tricked me the most when I got into the United Arab Emirates, I think about 12 years ago, was when I got in there and I saw that in midst of the scarcity, they were able to, churn out the uniqueness of what they call a beautiful city, and they decided to defy the odds. You also go to a place like Israel, and I've been there on pilgrimage, and you'd also hear about people moving up from the point or place of scarcity. Okay, so it's not that the precarious situations that we're in, either with COVID-19, the pandemic, or any of the crises that you find yourself will not, come up, and I'm sure a couple of people that will be listening have heard about the VOCA, methodology as to the volatility, uncertainty, the disruption, ambiguity, and all of that. But that in essence also typifies that there's a need to look within and start to launch out. So there are traits. There are traits of a servant leader. A servant leader leads with others in mind. And the earlier we get this, the better. Just so to bring some clarity into this, is there are qualities of a servant leader. So it values values above opinions. So you find out that as a servant leader, there's the value on value above the opinion, okay, as to what is the core value. So there's the personal value, and then there's the core value, and then the corporate values, rather, all right, the core values of an organization. It cultivates a culture of trust, okay? So it's not about a culture of suspicion. There's also no ambiguity as to how the organization or the individual is being run. And then intrinsically also is the development of others. Okay, so it's not seen from a selfish point of view. Now, if anybody has heard me speak at any of the forums or seminars, there's a recurring example I always play out. So once I started up in my career, I had some funny book I read, and that book negatively impacted me to the extent that I almost, became like the Dead Sea. And that book, very innocent book, but so be careful what you read. It says that get all you can, okay? Can all you get, and then sit on the can. What does that, essentially that meant that, look, there was no need to share information. There was no need to develop others. I should be the jack of all trade, the king, the master, the Lord. Whereas leadership has moved beyond that. Leadership is about ingraining and entrenching and training people in new ideas, new philosophies. Until I came in contact with the book by Stephen Covey, The 8 Habits. He says, look, guys, you must democratize what you have. All right? You must democratize the insights you have. You're as best as the kind of people you have around you. You cannot just be a demigod, the one-eyed man in the middle of the blind. You must create more people that can see, just so that there's illumination. So a servant leader develops others. He helps people with life issues, much more than just the work issues. So it's consulting. What's wrong? How are you? What's going on? And all of that. He encourages his team. Self instead of, rather than just focusing on self, he's thinking about others. He's thinking not only about him, he's thinking about all of us, okay? And he's also thinking long term. He's not short-sighted. He's not myopic in his view, and he acts with humility. And was it John Maxwell, or is it one of those writers says, look, the highest level of leadership is humility. And so, guys, look, if you want to know that you are on the right path, you must have started to display some of these traits. So, guys, what is the meaning of reinvention? Reinvention is the action or process through which something is changed so much that it appears to be entirely new. All right, and I liken reinvention to the process of metamorphosis. All right, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with the butterfly. And so the butterfly morphs, okay, passing through the circle, either from the egg to the larva, then caterpillar, the pupa, moves on into the cocoon or the chalice, as some would describe it. But at that point, it breaks out and then becomes a butterfly. But two principal things to understand is that, hey, The butterfly was once a caterpillar, a destroyer, okay? Almost like what I told you, that I felt that it was okay for me to be the only guy that knew anything in the room. And I've now moved into the point where I can now pollinate others, share ideas, all right? I started to move to the point where I begin to serve rather than trying to control. So how do you get, so that's reinvention now. You come into that point where you are driven about the need to, evolve yourself and bring about a radical transformation. In fact, that's one of the things that led to the book that, which is a tool and a manual that we recently just launched. Now, so you hear about the strategic tools. And I said, look, reinvention is a strategic tool, right? And that's my own, contribution to management, okay? To say, hey, we have the Porters, the 5 Porters, we have the SWOT analysis, we have the McKinsey 7 S's, the Pareto analysis, and every other thing, principles and all of that. Those are tools, for those in strategy, for those in management. You understand that, hey, these are some of the things that need to be done. But I say, look, until you come to the point where you begin to realize that reinvention is critical to any strategic or meeting any strategic goal, then you'd have missed the mark. So we have a methodology at Strength Africa, and it's quite simple. We call it the CLAIM methodology, and the CLAIM methodology is actually your claim towards having an extraordinary life. And I love what the speakers earlier on said. One of them also typified to one of the things that, in fact, 2 of the earlier speakers typified to what I mean by CLAIM. CLAIM is an acronym. It means that you must be clear. And what is C? Clarity. Clarity. You must be clear as to what you want to, either personal, either organizational, even either governmental, or in any respect, in any dimension. So there must be clarity. C, note that. Clarity. You must have clarity of purpose, clarity of intention. You must have an end in mind. Okay? Then we move on to L. All right, lessons from the hallmark for which we learn. And are you learning anything? Even as we are talking about this now, you begin to need to understand that you must begin to learn. All right, you're taking all of this right now. Hey, and then what are you doing with it? You must learn now, and that's what we're talking about. Okay, learning is intrinsic to this journey called reinvention, and this is your key to claiming an extraordinary life. Now, the other thing is A, alignment. Alignment. Alignment is about ensuring that you move at par rather than over dispensing or under dispensing. You come to that point where, I liken this, for those that have used the car or using cars, you probably have a tire and then they tell you, look, you need to align the wheels. Why must you align the wheels? Because if you don't align the wheels, then you'll be overworking yourself. 1, 2, you also you wear out, the instrument of movement. Okay, so we must constantly align. Then there's I now, for those that are good in spelling, to claim, I therefore typifies improvements, introductions, insights, all right? You must be able to introduce new insights into whatever you're doing. It's foolish to keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And then the final spelling on M or claim is N. You must measure and monitor, because it's what gets measured that gets done. So food for thought now. To lead others, you must lead yourself. This is also applicable to influence. It starts with you. But guys, I promised that I was going to be sharing 3 dimensions to this reinvention journey. So the first on the ladder is personal reinvention. Hey guys, look, until you become aware of yourself, all right, until you discover yourself, you would only be abusing yourself. And what usually happens is that most times people just run their lives, all right, like on trial and trial and error. Okay, so if you buy an equipment today, there's a manual now. There's a typical manual that gives you insight as to, hey, this is how to manage and run this device. Okay, but hardly ever do we have people, all right, even in this time and in this generation, that take a knack towards discovering themselves. And what do I mean? So have you done a test? Have you done any personality test, as the case may be? Have you tried to find out who you are, what you do best, all right, what you have proclivities, or where you perform outstandingly, all right, where do you get recognition? You must come to an understanding that, hey, there's something about me, and this is the value for which I am created to offer. So because of lack of a better time, I would just say, look, there's what we call the personal model canvas, all right, almost equated to the business model canvas. And time will not permit me to go on that journey. But yeah, guys, look, you must understand that this journey, to use it as a strategic tool, reinvention, you must first first start with you, and that's the personal journey first. To be a great leader, you must reinvent yourself continuously on a personal level. Knowing how to do your job today doesn't secure you success for tomorrow. Guys, look, you read now. There are books to be read now. There are audios to be listened to now. There are conferences to attend now. The Becoming Summit 3.0 is coming now. Have you registered? These are the things that we're talking about. And this would definitely improve you, almost in line with the claim methodology. Now, leadership, influence, persuasion. You see, we've talked so much about leadership, but can we also understand that there's a thin line between persuasion and influence? Rather than wait to persuade, all right, the operational word is to influence. And that's where leadership starts. And that's why leadership is not a title. All right. So for those that are listening, I think, hey, I'm not yet a leader. You've missed it. Oh, you can lead from anywhere. You can lead from the bottom up. What do you require? Influence. And what's that influence? It's the energy you exude. It emanates from understanding, from insights, all right, from learnings, from the inner growth, all right. It's from the point of your mindset, and then you're able to project a positive energy. Now, so let me leave that. Let me leave the personal reinvention. So let's talk about the systemic, all right. So we talk about systems and processes for reinvention. And a lot of people probably starting businesses, you're currently in a business, or you are also in a crisis, all right. But have you been able to articulate why you exist as a business? So there's a personal understanding where you define and come into an awareness of your responsibility and of yourself, all right. And you develop yourself, and then you start to move towards mastery. But mastery is a never-ending destination, all right. But for businesses also, you must do a similar thing. Okay, you must begin to understand that, hey, my business, what's the purpose of my business? All right, what's the morale? All right, rather than just even from just profit and profit or income point of view, you must move to the point where you're able to say, look, how does this impact your environment, your community, your city, your country, your continent? Hey guys, look, you must now start to think, beyond just local, beyond being, pedestrian. You must start to think as a world leader. You must start to see yourself as part of the puzzle that will resolve the imbalance in the world. All right, start to match up now. Bring your companies up, and then start to move on in that order. So, guys, look, the key point to also always is to remember is that whether you're looking for ways to cut costs, reduce errors, increase speed to market, or simplify processes, or to talk to people, you just must understand that business must have impact beyond just income. Okay, and I said it also must have influence. Okay, so guys, I leave that as an homework for you to go and deal with, on how must I set out structures and processes for my business, just so that my business goes beyond the crisis, all right, and moves on in time. Now, structural, and I'm going to be getting out of your face right now, guys. I'm going to be getting out of your face, but I needed to drop this. So reinvention is a continuum, is a never-ending destination. But there's 6 things you need to understand, guys. Look, this one, you must get it. Is that, look, you must think, all right, with all that we have learned today, with all that you have imbibed over the day 1, day 2, and in day 3, which you're going to be imbibing on, 6 things are critical towards how to apply and bring all of this to perspective. And I call it the 6 thinking steps of how you must use information, any information you get, towards attaining a radical transformation. 1 is that you must remember and recall. And that's why you must have your notepad. Get all of these things in place and constantly revert to them. That's the process. Now, thinking is the process of grinding information and turning into a smoothie or a juice. All right, that's when you can get output. The next thing you must understand is you must have understanding. Hey guys, if all that we've been saying, you lack understanding about it, you have come into a long thing. The next thing is you must apply now. You must apply. You just must apply what we've learned. All right, then it's always on the shelf. Then you have failed. The 4th one is you must analyze. Constantly analyze, just oppose. Why did I do this wrong? How did I fail in this regard? Then you must move towards evaluation, constant evaluation. And that's how we think now. The 6th one is you must create. All right. Look, guys, it's an anomaly for us not to create. You see, when people don't create, they compete. And that's why we have crises and problems around the world. We must start to create uniquely what we do differently, staying and slaying on our lanes. All right, guys, look, I know I'm done. And I must hand over the virtual lectern back to our host and the person of my coach, Lady Ejiro. You are fantastic. Almost impossible, all right? Is the doing that gets the job done. I thank you for this wonderful privilege. And I'm sure somebody has been reinvented, all right, to experience a radical transformation for impact and income. Guys, see you at the panel. All right.
Wow. Before I turn into a siren, wow. Guys, can you feel the fire? Can you feel the fire?
Thank you.
The fire. Please drop the fire emoji. It's too hot. La hot in this place. Wow. In fact, I feel like, don't worry, sir. We're going to have a special session where we'll sit down and dissect this matter, because you've given us like you're giving a boom. You're just hitting us different strategies, different names, reinvention. This, in fact, is so good. But thank you for making good use of the 20 minutes that we gave to you. We're sorry that it's that short, but we want people to know that there is so much more to learn, right? There is even this 20 minutes, there's so much to unpack. So if you're not fast, you'll not capture it. So you need the replay, okay? But I mean, it's your choice. And I ain't gonna force you to get the replay, but man, it's too loaded. Thank you so much, sir. I'll take you backstage now. I'll bring you back up during the panel session. This was such a fantastic session. God bless you. Thank you so very much. All right, fantastic. Wow. I see all the comments. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Igo Orienru. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Tosi. I see you. Paul Okoro, I see you. Onome, Victory, you guys are amazing. Rachel, Chael, I see you. God bless you. Okay, without further ado, let me bring up our next speaker, all the way from Ghana. Like, God bless you, Mr. Michael, because Mr. Michael has been on way before we even started. Like, he's been in the studio just chilling and waiting because of this summit. It's been amazing. I celebrate you, sir. Thank you so much for your patience, and we can't even wait to learn the amazing thing from you. Like, Mr. Michael Bartlett Van Der Poel is like, he's a chairman of a conglomerate. He has their company has spanned to like 5 countries in the world, and like I think up to 4 continents. So guys, you really want to sit down and learn. You really want to hear this, and you really want to take up your notes and begin to write. The way I know that you're writing is when you're now dropping the comment. So be dropping. You see that they are very fast. So you have to be also fast in typing or in writing down your takeaways. Okay. So without further ado, I'll bring up Mr. Michael Van Der Poel.
Michael Bartlett Van Der Poel. Mr. Michael Bartlett Van Der Poel is the Chief Executive Officer, President and Chairman of MNC Group Global. Mr. Bartlett Van Der Poel has a strong background in management and corporate finance, which he practices throughout Africa, places in Europe, Asia, the Gulf, and the USA. His experience spreads into management and listings on the second boards in Dubai. He is well acquainted with the respective market trends and shares his expertise in minerals mining and trading, commodities trading, and real estate. MNC Group Global, born out of his foresight, has offices in Hong Kong, China, in Asia, Dubai, Sharjah in UAE, South Africa, Cameroon, and head office in Accra, Ghana. His sea of experience in financial management and running business operations both in Europe and Asia gives him pride and agility to match parties whilst making inputs to address their management issues and growing pains. His extensive background in international investment banking and finance brings the necessary experience required to successfully manage the investment operations of the group. Mr. Bartlett Van Der Poel has played a great role in raising investment capital in the United Arab Emirates, United States of America, to benefit the Ministry of Works and Housing in Ghana and for other international organizations in his capacity as an investment banker. Mr. Bartlett Van Der Poel has been speaking at functions including trade shows, conferences, conventions, and meetings in parts of Europe and Asia. He was awarded the Most Promising CEO of the Year at the TWAM Best Leadership Awards in 2018. He is an active member of the World Changers Summit and was awarded the Best International Trade and Logistics Industry Leader for the year 2019. He also received a masterclass certificate in leadership and management from the American International Theology University, which was held at the Howard Johnson Hotel in Dubai in November 2019. In February 2020, Mr. Michael Bartlett Van der Poel was nominated and received the 2020 Young African Icon Award held in Atlanta, Georgia, USA at the 3rd Annual Global Black History Honors. As a young leader in Africa, he has inspired the next generation of young people to broaden their horizons for doing business globally. His work in the trade and finance in various countries around the world shows the possibility to the youth for their own success. In February 26, 2021, Mr. Michael Bartlett Van der Poel was inducted into the Corporate Ghana Hall of Fame for his outstanding contributions and achievements in the Ghanaian economy. He spent time in Europe, Asia, and the Gulf region to keep offices in those countries up to date. He is married with 2 children and is an avid English football fan. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking on building a conglomerate firm through servant leadership, please welcome Mr. Michael Bartlett Van der Poel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for the opportunity to be part of the Becoming Summit. It's always a privilege to have the chance to inspire other people and also to learn at a table where other people also share their experience. I've been already introduced, and I'll just go straight to the point. Following up from yesterday, I realized a lot of you have tried to define what servant leadership is. And for me, as a business person, I always think that anybody who practices servant leadership, right, you are the tendency of growing your business about 90 to 100% profitable and to know everything about your business. What is servant leadership? Servant leadership is simply leadership through service. That's doing everything by example. I'm supposed to be speaking on the topic, building a conglomerate through servant leadership. But first talk about building a business. Because to build a conglomerate, first you have to build a business. And you can build one business, 2 businesses, 3, 4, 5, and then you end up having a conglomerate. I'm not here to tell you about my life story. I'm here to tell you about the basic things that you're supposed to do. And being a servant leader is leading by example and getting to the bottom of whatever you strive to do in business. For instance, if you want to go into real estate, you should have an idea of everything that happens from day one to the end. You cannot just be at the top and not know what happens at the downstream. Okay, so for instance, if you're supposed to report to work, if the staff are supposed to go by 8 o'clock, you don't stay at home and get to the office at 10. Servant leaders always get to the office, are the first to get to the office and the last to leave, and make sure they get a job done. Now you impact that into your staff. You impact that into your staff, and you realize that once they're able to learn by the way you go about things, it makes it easier for them to be able to work without being supervised. There's some basic principles of servant leadership which I would like to share with each and everyone hoping to help own a business one way or the other in the future. First of all, you should have a listening ear. Most servant leaders, or all servant leaders, have listening ears to their staff. Your staff should be able to trust you. When they trust you, they're able to open up to tell you what is happening, how they feel when they have issues. They're able to share with you, open and everything. You should have foresight to be able to drive the organization to where it's supposed to be. You should be able to impact into the staff, the ideals of the organization, so that people don't just come into work because they want to earn a living, but they come into work and to learn what and enjoy what they're doing. When your staff enjoy what they're doing, and then their leader is like, they see the leader as like a father. They see the leader as somebody they can trust. They see the leader as somebody who has foresight. They see the leader as somebody that they can always go to, is the go-to person that they can be able to share and open up. They're all happy. You don't need to actually tell them exactly. They get to the office, the boss asks, how's your weekend? How was business and everything? How's your family life? How's your private life? They're able to open up to share. They're always happy. And they don't see the boss. They see the boss more like a father figure or a man figure, rather than seeing the person in quote boss. That the boss is coming, everybody runs away. So servant leadership drives business and makes people progress. Now, in building businesses across every year, like I said, you need to study to understand wherever you want to go and whatever businesses you want to do. So, for instance, having a conglomerate, let's say I'll use myself as an example once again. From Ghana, I decided to open a business in the UAE. What did I do? I visited the UAE so many times, countless times. What was my intention? Is to study how their culture is, study the market, study the kind of people that I'm willing to employ, see whether my business that I want to practice there's market for it. Now I started it from the scratch. So anybody I employ, I imbibe and put that into that person. I lead by example. I get to the work on time. I'm able to sit with them, have chats, tell them the vision of the company, ask them what they plan to do in the next 5 years, teach them to also put in practical things about their life, exactly as a well-organized servant leader. Servant leadership is practically, once again, leadership through service, where you're able to demonstrate and get people to your staff to be on board and to learn by your example. A servant leader, to see whether you're successful, you should see yourself, look at your staff and see a reflection of yourself. Servant leadership gets people or gets your staff to do things without being asked to. They are able to sit and think. They are able to see when something is wrong, to be able to even correct it without you even letting them know that this is it. So, for instance, if maybe a staff is leaving the office and realizes that a colleague has left by mistake, has left maybe an electrical gadget on, the person will just put it off without leaving and say, okay, I don't care, because that's what has been imbibed into the person through the servant leadership. They've seen that through how their boss demonstrates and how the boss does his work. Okay, a servant leader is one who takes the interest of his staff at heart, because when your staff are doing the right things, that means you'll be able to. It's a reflection of you. Always put that back of your mind. Any leader that you're there, your staff are a reflection of yourself. If somebody works for you for a year or two and is not able to pick exactly what you want to imbibe into that person, then you're not doing the right thing. You need to go back to the drawing board. And to build a business, like I said, before you can build a conglomerate, you need to build a business first. Now you need to do a research, identify the market. You as the leader, lead by example, go down, find out and build it from up. Find out what the main things are. For instance, once in a while, I remember some years ago, I was having an interview in my office. And normally, I'm not one of the interview panels. I'm the last person who speaks after the interview. You go through 6 sections and then you get to me, or 2 or 3 sections, you get to me. And I was wearing just a t-shirt and I was walking entrance. And most people were coming in. They wouldn't even greet you because they don't know who you are. And they don't need to know who you are before they greet you to know that, okay, this is the boss. So the person gets in, goes through everything. Now he gets to my tenants, enters my office and says, I'm the one they just bypassed. And I'm like, you can see the look on their face. How does the group chairman of 14 companies just work so simple and doesn't show anything? It is leadership by example. It's not leadership by being bossy over people. It's by leadership by just trying to identify with your staff, even from the lead staff to the line staff, to the line managers, and then to any other people that you're working with. And you build from the bottom up. And that's the bottom up approach. So servant leadership is very good. So you realize that there are a lot of advantages in servant leadership, where you are able to understand exactly what goes on in every line of your business. Your staff are able to trust you, to come to you, and to give you whatever information they need, rather than giving you excuses, hiding behind, and having that fear where they are not able to communicate clearly and stuff like that. Now, in building businesses across the various continents, this person, I mentioned that earlier, that you need to do a research. You need to go and do that by yourself. And when you start the business, start team leader and grow into the company that you want to be. So this summit for me is something very inspiring. I listen to other speakers, but what I want anybody to do before you can build a conglomerate, you need to build a business first. And you need to learn that leadership is by service, and entrepreneurship is leading the way by demonstration. You need to lead by demonstrating. So, for instance, some of my staff, for instance, we do minerals and metal. I'm not a metallurgist, but I have the basic idea about how to determine what something is gold or not. But I still learn from my metallurgists. I go to the lab, I find out from them how these things are done. What is this? What does the acid do? What is the smelting process? Why should the fire be this high? And sometimes you come and I sit with my staff and we are chit-chatting, we are joking, we are laughing. You're like, how does the group chairman able to communicate and relate in that manner with my staff? It is just because I want them to trust me, to come through and to be able to understand and come, feel free and come to me and come and share their problems with me. Sometimes I tell them about my lifestyle, my life, where I've been through, the vision I have, and where I see the company going. And you can see on their faces, they just get so amazed. It is being selfless and giving your all, getting people to, for me, I feel comfortable and happy when I'm able to imbibe knowledge into my stuff. Sometimes some people think I'm so hard, but I'd rather be hard than to get you off track. Now, when they leave and they go to any other firm, they call me back and say, Chairman, when you were being hard on us, we thought you're not helping us. But now we realize that you are one of the best and you've imbibed a lot of knowledge into us to be on our own. For me, I like to have impact on people's lives, positive impact. And always when people are able to trust you, they're able to work for you, they're able to work with you. Servant leadership is getting your staff to work with you, not work for you. Your staff should be able to work with you. That means they should be willing to come to work, not because of their earnings, but because they always want to be at your feet to learn more. The zeal to learn should be there, because the way you teach them, they are so happy. They always look forward to another work and to work with you. So when you practice servant leadership and you practice it well, your staff should be able to work with you, not work for you. Okay, so these are the things that you need to put at the back of your mind and put in context every time. When you're able to build a business and you build it to be successful, you need to lead by example. And that is where servant leadership is very important. Okay, so for instance, you go to some firms, even the boss himself doesn't even know how to connect a laptop to a printer. How then can you show a staff who just joined? You have an IT department. What do you learn from the IT people? When you're there, you learn from the professionals you employ. As a boss, you learn hands-on and you're able to teach and impact. Okay, so leadership and servant leaders are people who lead by example. When something is wrong, they are able to correct it. Imagine you get to the office and you see your boss, maybe there's something is dirty and he's cleaning it. You just get by. Not that he's a cleaner, not that he had to call somebody to come and do it, but everybody knows that once the boss is even demonstrating that, who am I want to learn from the boss. Okay, so that one day it will be impactful. Entrepreneurship is a journey. You learn it and build yours. You learn and build from others. So what is going to happen is when you build your business and you're successful in a country, you want to go to the next country. You want to explore. There's always that eagerness to go elsewhere, to explore, and also to impact into other people's lives. And you see, servant leaders are not just leaders in their workplaces. They are leaders in their clubs. They are leaders in their churches. They are leaders. They are identified as leaders in the society. And when servant leadership is what they is, it becomes a part of them, and they're able to share ego. It becomes a part of you. You even do it without even realize. You get to a function and you are the head, and yet you need to take somewhere. There's somebody still holding, because you're leading by example. You see, people just quickly come. If our politicians and our people in government was practice servant leadership, it's going to be good to move the countries further. I remember when I was very young, those times when the late Jerry John Rawlings was in power. We used to have, I remember very well, we used to have like Saturday daily cleanings, and you could see the president himself go into the gutter to be cleaning. So if your president is practicing servant leadership by leading the cleaning of like a weekend, Saturday morning, and is there with the army people cleaning, what will you be doing sleeping at home? He is imbibing into you. Okay? He is imbibing a lot of things into you. So it's up to you to take it. Servant leaders, once you see them, you will see. For instance, when you invite them to functions and they get there, yes, they can be the VVIP, but you just see them sitting somewhere at the back end, very quiet. If something's not going right, they like to always help. They ask you, what can I do to help you? Because that is what they have done. And that is the mark of a successful business. So business, those who are business leaders out there who are not practicing servant leadership, please, from today, take it from me, practice servant leadership, imbibe into your staff, let them work with you and not for you. That is the difference. When they work with you, it's a journey and it's an experience they will never forget. But when they work for you, that is where they can even leave the light on, because it is not their business. That is when they realize that, okay, the boss is not around, let me do any other thing. That is when they only act and pretend to be working when the boss is in the office. But when they work with you, they are always ready. They don't need you to be physically present for them to work. And that will help you to be able to connect the dots in the various continents and countries that you want to set up. I don't know whether anybody has any questions, because this is as clear. Build a conglomerate, but you still need to start with one. So for me, I think I'm done. I'll be waiting for the panel section.
Absolutely.
Where if you have any questions, I will answer for you. Thank you so much.
Please put it together for Mr. Michael in the comment section. Where are the emojis, guys? Please, where are you? Where are my Charles? Charles, where on day? Where on day? Please put it together for Mr. Michael in the comment. Thank you so much for just simplifying it. Basically, leadership by example. I love the one that, this last one is the one that won't touch me the most. Like, servant leadership is getting your staff to work with you and not for you. If you don't leave here with anything, let that ring in your head. If somebody is working, if you are leading properly, they should be working with you. They should be able to catch the vision that you carry. They should be able to understand your vision so much that they feel like a part of it. and they're now working with you and not for you. Thank you so very much. God bless you. I'll take you backstage now. I will come up with our final speaker for the day, and then we'll come back for the panel session. So thank you so very much, sir. All right, guys, we're almost there. We're almost there. I hope you're learning. I hope you're learning. Please drop your wow moments and your light bulb moments in the comment section. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Charlie is here. MFI, see you, sis. Supporting. Oh, so sweet, so sweet. All right. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to bring up our final speaker. Although our final speaker today won't be able to join the panel session, but that's okay. We're going to go through his session quickly in 20 minutes. And then we'll come back for the panel session and then we'll round up for tonight. Thank you so very much for being an amazing audience. You guys are fantastic. I'm going to bring it up stage now. This is also the CEO, the group lead of GTEx Global. Like, his story is just interesting. Started business with $10. And then today he's a billionaire. You know, he's traveling all over the world and doing amazing stuff, building, you know, estates and all of these things. Stephen Akintayo has a fantastic story, and he's going to be sharing with us the power of humility when it comes to the talk of servant leadership, how humility plays a role in servant leadership. I'll bring the stage now, Dr. Stephen Akintayo.
Stephen Akintayo. Dr. Stephen Akintayo, an inspirational speaker and serial entrepreneur, is currently the Chief Executive Officer of Stephen Akintayo Consulting International and GTEx Media Nigeria, whose services span from digital marketing, website design, bulk SMS, online advertising, media, e-commerce, real estate, consulting, and a host of other services. Stephen also founded Gilead Balm Group Services, which has assisted a number of businesses in Nigeria to move to enviable levels by helping them reach their clients through its enormous nationwide database of real phone numbers and email addresses. It has hundreds of organizations as its clients, including multinational companies like Guarantee Trust Bank, PZ Cousins, MTN, Chivita, amongst others. He is also the founder and president of Infinity Foundation and Stephen Akintayo Foundation, an indigenous non-governmental organization that assists orphans and vulnerable children, as well as mentors young minds. The foundation has assisted over 2,000 orphans and vulnerable children and has also partnered with 22 orphanage homes in the country. By 2015, Infinity Foundation started Mercy Orphanage to cater to the children affected by the Boko Haram insurgency in the northern part of Nigeria. The Stephen Akintayo Foundation was created to assist budding entrepreneurs with financial grants, with an initial grant of 10 million naira to 20 entrepreneurs in 2015. The foundation plans to grow to the point of giving 500 million naira annually. Speaking on humility as a tool to great leadership, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Stephen Akintayo.
I'm Dr. Stephen Akintayo, and welcome to this amazing conference. The Becoming Conference is just such a well thought after conference. Congratulations to Ejiro Sakede for thinking this through. For a woman to think of having a conference like this for men towards Father's Day. Men are often neglected. We don't work, even in families, we don't invest much on the men. We're more bothered about the women. And guess what? The men end up messing up the women and mess up all the investment that's been done. So this is a good conference. And looking at becoming the tool of humility that has been looked into is important. For me, humility as a tool of great leadership is what we're going to be looking at in just this 20 minutes. Humility, tool for great leadership. I have been privileged to start our company 13 years ago with just $10, 1,000 Nigerian naira. And in 13 years, we've grown to become a multi-million-dollar corporation. In fact, I'm in Dubai and we're just about to celebrate. In 1 week, we did $2 million in sales of property just in our Dubai office. And yet we have offices in UK, US, in Nigeria, we're doing massive stuff. But it takes leadership to be able to gather a team of over 300 staff all over the world and getting them to be inspired and to build a real estate empire, to build an agri-business empire, to build logistic, e-commerce, and all these various subsidiaries that we have. And I want to share with you some of what I've used over the years. I remember having to think, why did Ejiro give me this topic? Because I'm not naturally going to think I'm a humble person. But again, I don't even think people are really humble should think they should be humble. I think the concept is just about treating people right. So let's start with leadership. What's leadership? For me, leadership is leading the way. Leadership is showing the way. Leadership is moving people from where they are to where they ought to be. And it's a tough job. And humility then has to be a tool. And I'll share this with you, why this is very important. As a leader, you know where you're going. You can see it. But those you're leading cannot see it. You're the one that can see. That's what this is like. You're a shepherd. You're in front of the sheep. They can't see where you're going. You are seeing it and you're saying, follow me, follow me. That's leadership. That's leadership. Unfortunately, this has been bastardized. What we see today is rulership. It's leaders who take advantage of people. It's leaders who exploit people rather than being leaders who are adding value, who are even, of course, leadership include being tough and correcting people, and holding them accountable. But more importantly, doing it with a sincere heart and not that you're trying to exploit them. So how do we use humility? How does humility become a tool to become a great leader and to lead people well? And what are the characteristics that you see that shows that you are using humility as a tool? Number one, and this is very important, is to be able to say, I'm sorry. That you are the leader does not mean you know it all. Doesn't mean you're perfect all the time. Doesn't mean you have all the answers. And sometimes you will judge wrongly. Sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes you miss it. Sometimes you just get it wrong. Be willing to say, I am sorry, as long as you're able to discover that you're wrong. Please note this. I am not saying that you always just use the word, I'm sorry. Just all the time, I'm sorry, and just make mockery of the word. No. All right, before I can tell anybody I'm sorry, I'm convinced there are data, but I'm open to the fact that I can be wrong. I'm not God, I'm mortal. I think that is the beginning of using humility as a tool to be a good leader. Being able to say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it, I missed it. But to have the mindset that because you're the leader, you can't be wrong. You can make mistake, then you're wrong. That's where we miss it. Leaders make mistakes. Leaders are human. Leader is imperfect. And this is one of the reasons why I tell people, I say, if you're going to pick somebody as your leader, as your mentor, understand they're human and understand the fact that you should never pick somebody to become your leader because you think they will not make mistake, because you think they are perfect. You should rather pick them because you are sure if they miss it, they will acknowledge it. If they're wrong, they will acknowledge it. They are sincere people. Number two, okay, characteristics that you find, that you begin to see in leaders that are using humility as a tool to build people up, to build empires, to build politics. And this works anywhere, political leadership, government, business. I play more on the business side, right? You need to use these tools. They are powerful tools. They help you to go far, right? Is to listen. Number two, listen to other people. A lot of times, I can't recall, there are few meetings in my life that I've attended of my leaders that I don't have an opinion, that I don't have an idea, that I don't have a concept. But I've learned over time, it was a difficult process, to ask questions. So what do you guys think? Do you have a question? Do you have something to add? Do you have a suggestion? How do you see it? Right? Please, I want to hear from you. Speak up. Speak up. I need to say something. Okay? So that, because one of us is never, ever better than all of us. Being able to have contributions from other people. Let me say this is very powerful. A good leader is never the most intelligent, is never the best in the team. Is just exceptionally good at managing the best. Understand the pulse of the people, understand how to listen to them, right? You don't need to agree. You might not even use what they have to say, but you should sit them down and say, let's talk. It helps them to feel carried along, helps them to feel belonging, a strong sense of belonging, and to go that journey with you. But a good leader, right, that uses humility as a tool, sits people together and say, what do you think? How do we go about it? You don't need to always take their suggestion, but you need to hear them. A good leader that's using humility as a tool, always listen. And I think it's very, very key. You see, in my marriage, I remember one time my wife was very angry about something, and she sat me down, and I, of course, I was also upset, but I took time to listen to her. I will never forget it. I went on my knees and said, I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry. I didn't know this hurt you this much. I am deeply sorry. So that's what comes when you sit people down, when you listen to people, when you have those conversations. And you should be willing to listen. I'm here to meet a great leader that does not listen, that is not willing to listen. Sometimes you don't think they are listening, but they are listening even deeper than what you've said. That's leadership, right? Listening even deeper, and just saying, okay, I get it. I pick it. I understand. I feel you. Number 3, empathy. A leader that is using humility as a tool will empathize with people. I used to pastor a small chapel, and people, the church had this bursary program where people could apply to get bursary, and so they could send their kids to school. And I was pastoring one of those chapel, and I remember the list came out of people who were given. I'm not even sure anybody from my church was given. It's a big church and we have different units, and maybe one person or so. And I remember my members came to me and said, sir, you will not believe it. This other branch got this much. People got scholarship or bursary. These are the ones. And then they started saying it's politics that was played. Oh, this, oh, that. Oh, and there was so much. And I remember I also had a financial challenge that time. And my son wasn't even going to school. One, I refused to. My wife suggested that we should also apply. We're even the pastor. I said no. I said to her, we shouldn't. We should know that there are other members who need this more than us. And let's let them benefit. And I never knew that many of our members will not even eventually get it. Right? And so I sat them down. I said, first of all, you all know my challenges financially at this period. Do you know I didn't apply? And because I wanted most of you to benefit, and plus I'm not in this church for what the church can give me. Remember, even this role I occupy, pastoring you guys, is free. I'm not being paid for it. I volunteered to do it when I was being called to do it. But I understand your pain. You can imagine how my own son is at home and is not going to school. So I know what it means for you to have been hoping that you'll be able to pay the tuition fee of your children from this and just being rejected and not getting it. I feel your pain. I'm sorry. I wish there's something I could do. I'm going to do my best to write the leadership and see what we can do. But let's remember, we're here to serve God, right? And we love God. That's what we're serving Him. It's not about what God is giving us. We're not here for the church. right? We're here for God. We're a member of the church because of God, not because of the physical structure, administrative structure of the church, not whether they give us something or not. At the end of the day, everybody calmed down. They were excited. They left the place praying and being fervent because I empathized. I could have gotten angry. I said, what's wrong with you people? I didn't even apply. But listening to them and sharing with them my own personal story and empathizing with them just helped that particular experience. That's what leadership is all about, particularly when you want to use humility. Number 3, I believe, you can number it. Communication. You have to be a master communicator. In fact, you are not yet a leader until you've mastered the art of communication. Yes, good intention is not enough as a leader. Yes, having a good intention. Good intention is not enough. Oh, I have entered plenty trouble with good intentions. I have the best of people at heart, but I didn't communicate. I didn't. The best of you as a leader comes alive when you master the art of communication. You have to find a way to communicate every single decision, good, bad, ugly. Communicate it. Your ideas, communicated. The vision, that needs a lot of communication. You have to be dynamic in how you communicate. Very dynamic. One of the great leaders of America is Abraham Lincoln. And oh boy, he's a master of storytelling. That's one of his strategy of communication. He just loved to tell stories. And sometimes, most times actually, humorous stories. But he's used that. And no wonder he's one of the most successful president America has ever had. Mastering the art of communication. It's something we need to take seriously, it's something we need to pick up, it's something we need to begin to do more. We men struggle to do that, unfortunately. I have good intention. What are you talking about? Let's just do it. Hey, no. Sit people down. Break it down. Explain to them. In our organization, GTES Global, we're running our academy now. We have 3 tiers. We just started we're wrapping up the 3rd tier on Friday, called GTES Academy. And one of my courses that I'm taking is called Vision Marketing. And all I'm doing there is to re-echo the vision, is to re-emphasize the vision, is to channel the vision and help them to understand. In fact, one of the key things that you must communicate is what is a need for your followers. Why should your followers follow you? What's the need for them? Jesus Christ of Nazareth kept talking about, yes, my Father, where I'm going, I'm preparing a room for you. There was a promise. There was something in it for the disciples. A good leader mastered the art of communicating the benefits of people being loyal to the vision, people being loyal to the calling, people being loyal to the business that you're running. I often communicate to our team, give me 10 years. Oh, you're going to be a multi-millionaire. You're going to travel the world like I've done, but it's not easy. It's tough being Stephen Akintayo. Right, I slept 2 a.m. last night. I was up after 6 this morning. Okay, it's tough. It's not easy, but it's good. But you'll be glad. But the benefits are good. You have to understand that dimension to leadership. Some will listen, some will not, some will accept, some will disagree. But it's important to do that. And lastly, under communication, communicate the punishment. Yes. I just demoted somebody in our establishment for something he did. Right? We have a principle. You cannot date each other. It's distracting, particularly if you're in a higher position of power. Right? You can't date a fellow staff. As that create conflict of interest. Sometimes the staff is not sure you're correcting him or her because legitimately him or her was wrong, or because you rejected the advances. It just blinds the process. So we don't take that. Okay, and then this particular people was even the lady, two people in position of power. The lady was even the one asking the guy out and asking for sexual advances. So we don't do that here, right? One was demoted, was from a consultant. One that was main staff of our company was demoted. And because particularly this was the second time it happened. But I remember having 3 meetings. One personally communicating with him, another one with the other subsidiary company from where the person who initiated this issue came from. Then the third was with the senior management of the organization to say, this is it. This is why you need this punishment. It's not that I hate you. I promoted you in the first place. You are in this position because I like you. But you need to be punished as a reminder. When this temptation comes next time, you run like Joseph. Okay? However, it's important to know that you have to know your boundaries as a leader. It's none of my business what religion my staff practice. It's none of my business how many wives they have, how many girlfriends they date, who is their boyfriend, who is their girlfriend. No. Because the place of business, for example, that I run, it's not a place for morality, it's not a church. But there are certain rules that you set in the organization, which is, for example, don't date staff in the organization. That's your boundary. Now, you don't go to people's personal life, private life, and start doing what is not. Always understand your limitation as a leader. Always know where to draw the line. Always understand that as much as you love these people, you care, right? You must also respect their privacy, respect their personality, respect the boundaries that needs to also be there for them. So don't say because I'm the leader, I'm just going to jump into people's life anyhow. I'm just going to do how I like. I'm just going to, no, respect people's privacy. For example, as much as I counsel, I do a lot. I've been married for years now. I don't do relationship counseling in my office. I'm not your counselor. If you privately seek it, I'm going to provide it. But that's not my job. I don't go out looking for who to counsel. That's not. Know your boundary as a leader. Well, that's our time, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've learned a thing or two of using humility as a tool to become a great leader and to leading greatly. Once again, I'm grateful for this opportunity to share with you guys. Thank you, Ejiro Sakede. You're wonderful. You rock. God bless you. I love you all. Bye-bye.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic from Dr. Stephen Akintayo there. I sincerely apologize. I saw a comment in the comment section that the volume was quite low. Please, I apologize for that. But I hope that you were able to increase the volume on your end and then listen clearly, because he dropped some very, very vital nuggets right there. I see some comments proving that, yeah, you were able to hear it. So I'm just going to put some of those comments on the screen so that you can see them as well in case you didn't hear them completely. Victory says, a good servant leader is exceptionally good at enabling his people to utilize the best. I love this one where he said that the best of you as a leader comes alive when you master the art of communication. So communicating your vision, communicating the reward and even the punishment for certain acts in the company. And also, it's so powerful when he talked about boundaries. Setting your boundaries as a leader is very, very vital. Thank you so much, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Sadly, he's not going to be here for the panel session, but now here is the time where your questions should start popping in the comment section, okay? Start popping your question in the comment section, because right about now, I'm going to be bringing up our speakers. I hope we're ready in the studio. Yes, yes, yes. I see my speakers in the studio. I'm going to be bringing them up now. We're going to have this quick panel session for the next about 15 to 20 minutes before we round it up tonight. So please, please, please start popping your question in the comment section right now. Thank you, Coach TT. Thank you for being here. You've been amazing. Thank you, the SME Catalyst. So great to have you here. Thank you, Sir Taiwo Adepoju. Mr. Michael Bartlett is also going to be joining us shortly. All right. Okay. So we're all here now. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So tonight has just been amazing. Exactly. Tonight has been amazing. Thank you so much, my SARS, for honoring this invitation and for coming here to share your heart about what it means for what it means to be a servant leader in the marketplace. And I mean, it feels like you all just intertwined. Your points were coming together. There was this correlation between what all of you said. One thing that was common was the fact that servant leadership is about leading by example. I think you all said it in different formats, but you all quite said it clearly. All right, so guys, I'm waiting for your question in the comment section. But as we go on, I'm going to start with Mr. Shola Akindaojo. And Mr. Shola, you mentioned when you were talking about, some of the qualities that, when somebody, why people shy away from leading from behind, right? Why they shy away from leading, right? And you said, so you mentioned some qualities, but there were two that you mentioned that I want you to clarify the difference in it. You mentioned low self-esteem, and then you also mentioned inferiority complex. Can you explain, what's the difference between low self-esteem and inferiority complex?
All right, thank you, Ejiro. Okay. When you say inferiority complex, you are talking about a situation where somebody is just being challenged, probably challenged by the opportunities or the winnings of his other colleagues or whatever the other colleagues or friends already have acquired. And he doesn't see good thing about that. He doesn't see anything good about it, just because he feels he cannot achieve that same thing. So when everybody decides to say, oh, this is good, this is good, it's just like, and what is it? When you talk about low self-esteem, I want to refer that to when you see less of yourself as a person. When you see less of yourself as a person, you doubt your ability, you are doubting your own strength, you are doubting what you can achieve. Any small thing, you quickly put yourself to the corner. You shy away, right? You shy away. I don't want this thing to happen to me. Not because you can't do it. That person is actually bottled to a kind of our own comfort. Doesn't want to challenge his or herself. So the person thinks low of herself. She feels demoralized every time. Now, so when you feel demoralized, it's different for someone that has a priority complex. That like, what is in it that they are saying now? More sort of like the jealousy, what big good deeds of other people, good achievements of other people. But I say when they are saying it went to low self-esteem, has to do with the personal being of that person, not being able to visualize or actually value his own word as per the time. So he shies away. He quickly wants, I don't want people to talk to me. Oh, I don't want to get wrong. Before they say it's me, he runs away for it. So that's it for me.
All right. So that means inferiority complex is more about personal, but self-esteem is more about the personal, the way you see yourself. Inferiority complex is what you feel like other people see about you. Are comparing yourself to others, and then it just makes you want to quiet yourself when others are shining. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for clarifying that. Okay, my next question goes to Coach TT. You says, for leaders who cannot probably who are not sensitive to the effects of their actions, right, to their subordinates or their employees, right? How do you deal with them as an employee or subordinate when your boss or your employer or the person who is leading you is even insensitive to what their action is doing to you? How do you approach it as, you know, an employee or as a subordinate? How do you get the attention of your leader to say, what, you know, how you are dealing with us is not the best when it comes to communication?
Okay. Thanks, AJ. When you have such a leader that is quite insensitive to his people, there are different ways. And I think a lot of people also get it wrong by thinking escalation is the right way. What remember escalation? When you probably have to report your own manager or your boss to his own boss. The first thing I think I would do, so let me use myself as an example, is if I have such a person as leader, it comes down to what the last speaker said. It's about communication. And then I'm going to add that to what everybody has talked about here, which has to do with clarity. So are we going towards the same direction or are we going different ways? If one of us is not in the ship or not on this journey, then there is already a disintegration. So first of all, set the basis, seek clarity. Are we on the same page? And if you see your leader also going south, the right thing for you to do is also engage such leader. And when you engage a leader, it is not about saying no. And that, see, the mistake a lot of people as employees or as followers do is that they find it hard to engage directly their leaders. Rather than that, they speak ill of their leader to other people. Trust me, that will come back. And once that comes back, you have already lost the trust. There is no way. The bridge is already broken. For you to mend it, it's going to take you several years again. So at every point in time, make sure that you put the smelling fish on the table. Be open in your communication to your managers, to your bosses, to your superiors, and at the same time also to your subordinates. If I see something in my boss that is probably, this is not going right, rather than telling other people or telling his boss, I will have a conversation with him. Oh, I'm not saying he's wrong. He probably knows more than I do, but I would just want to check with him. Where are we going to? What is the objective? Why are we doing this? Does this objective align to our internal objective as a group or as a team or as an organization? Can we do some other things a little bit better? Can we try my strategy a little bit, boss, and challenge your boss and challenge yourself? Give him, if you want to go a different way from what he's putting on the table, then be ready also to provide that commitment to it. So I do this a lot. So I had worked with a boss who sometimes also, not for the lack of clarity, but for the lack of he's so eager for results. He just want to prove to his own boss too that he's doing this. So now time he comes up with this way ideas and say, hey, teacher, now you have to do this. I said, no, come. Why not let's try this other way? But I agree with your own style. I agree with your approach. But why not try mine also? Then I'm giving 2-3 weeks. If I don't come up with the results, probably that could be better than what we are already seeing now. Then let's go your way. But I can put my work on the line, I can put my career on the line, because I also feel or know that, yes, my ideas sometimes also, employees could have better ideas than the manager. Not all the time the leaders have better ideas than employees. No. And that, we should be open to it. We should always discuss it. And it is not about challenging. You can challenge status quo, but also when you do it with wisdom, apply wisdom. And apply wisdom.
Absolutely. I asked this question because I feel like we should also look at it from the other side. We've been talking about leaders, but if we look at it from the fact that for you to become a servant leader, it means you're serving first. So in that place of your service, you also need to begin to practice the things that you will do when you eventually get to that position of leadership. And so if you're saying you want to be a servant leader, you should know that, okay, if I'm in my shoes, if I'm in my boss's shoes, how would I want my subordinate to treat me? And then you begin to also work in that way to reach out to your superior, to tell them, to explain to them what you think they're doing wrong, and then have that conversation. And by that means, you're also building the capacity to communicate. So when you now get to your level of leadership, it's easier for you to also even spot it, even when your subordinates are not quite, maybe they're timid or anything, you're quick to spot it out. You know what?
No, absolutely.
Yes, ask questions like, oh, do you have anything to add to this? And just like Dr. Stevens said, you don't even have to do what they say, but still hear them out so that they feel like they're part of, the whole company. Thank you so much for that fantastic answer. Mr. Taiwo, I'm going to ask you this. You said, reinvention. I love how you put it, that reinvention is about morphing. And you talked about how you morphed. Like, you didn't start from here. First of all, you were like, all the way. Then you started learning, unlearning, and relearning. How or where can you get to a point where you know that you actually need to reinvent? What are the things that you need to see in yourself as a person or as somebody looking at leadership as a thing that, okay, we're all leaders in one way or the other, in our own little ways. So when you look at it, at what point can you begin to spot that it is time for me to morph from where I am? What are some signs that can indicate that?
Okay, so it's usually around that point where you come to a recognition that is either you have plateaued, all right, or there's a need for more. But let me just even paint this picture. So sometimes people come into what we call a personal encounter, all right, that calls on you to say, I can't be like this anymore. All right. So, borrowing from the examples in the scripture, there's the prodigal son. He just wakes up. He says, look, what's wrong with me now? There's a better place called there now. Can I rise up? So there's the personal encounter space. There's also the bit around where you, by virtue of your partnership, so we are having insights being shared here. And somebody is going to sit back and say, hey, can I review what is going on? I've learned certain things now. Okay, so you now come to that point and say, hey, there's a need to do. Now, there's also from the point of that point where you're looking at your plans, evaluating the plans that you have either posited or the vision that you have in mind. And when you sit back to say, hey, how have I fared? Because you see, what usually happens is that most people have their improvement plans in their head. They don't have it penned down. Okay, so because they cannot constantly go and review, almost like a performance review of yourself, like a company will look at the financial records. Have you been able to appraise yourself, well written and documented? Because once you start to do that, almost like what I shared with the M, when you're able to start to measure, appraise yourself, you come to that point where you are not able to claim an extraordinary life. And that's that path towards reinvention.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so very much. Thank you for clarifying that. I love it. Like, when you begin to see whether, like, it's like I'm not moving, or then you check your plans, like, are we where we're supposed to be? Then it gives you a signal that it is time for you to reinvent. Thank you so very much. Finally, my question will go to you, Mr. Michael. So, you were talking about, I love that quote is like, servant leadership is about your workers working with you and not for you. But I know you also hammered on examples. How then do you deal with, because I feel like even as, yes, we're great leaders, there's still some people that are just off the hook, that they're just rebellious, right? So how do you deal with a subordinate or an employee who is posing or pretending, even though you're doing your bit as a leader, they're just shadowing you and playing eye service? First of all, how do you spot those people and how do you deal with them as a servant that is doing his best to lead by example?
It's not easy. One thing you should realize is every society, you have the positives and the negatives. That we have leaders and others continue to be followers, and it's not everybody. So, when you pretend to be what you are not, you end up being one. people see you, but you are not what it's supposed to be. That one is okay. So in my office, for instance, across the globe, they'll tell you that chairman only finds out when I'm doing the wrong thing. Chairman appears when I'm doing the wrong thing. As in, like, I do the right thing every time. The one wrong that I'm doing, that's when chairman gets in. Sometimes it's instincts. And when you're a servant leader, you should know that basically you've gone through the mill. For instance, I remember years back, my team went for marketing. And in their reports, they claimed they had gone through a particular area. Now, on that street, I know every office on that street. So I was like, okay, from did you go to this place? Because you say you've covered the whole of that. Then you're like, it was the other place. So obviously you will know that they haven't been there. And obviously, and you know, the funny thing is there are some people who get into the business. That's why, because if you're a servant leader, you know the tricks. You know the tricks of the business are at your fingertips. You know when you read a report, daily reports, you know those who are working and those who are not. So day in, day out, I sit down and I tell them the results are the results you are getting is from the seeds you sown. I cannot force you. I can only train you and lead by example. So sometimes they see me and like, Chairman, you won this award. How was it? I say sometimes I sit there, I got nominated. People see my work. Now you associate with me. What did you learn from it? Do you get it? So in the organization, you cannot get everybody in line. You cannot get everybody in line. There's some people naturally they don't even want to work. And the thing is, they are the ones who try to convince those who are willing to work to bring an organization. Yeah. And it's not a government agency. It is a private distance. So I always tell my staff, you all came for interviews on merit, one after the other. You didn't come together. And you don't know what somebody's vision is. So you are work colleagues, you are not friends. Leave personal stuff out when you come, put on the office distance and focus. Yeah, because you end up, for instance, lunch is let's say 1 hour. You are there, you have some stuff to do, you are not done. Oh, leave it, it's lunchtime. That's an attitude of a lazy person. And anybody who does 8 to 5 work, that means you're not ready to be successful. You have to work anytime you get a chance. And that's what building yourself up. You always need to go out of your way to develop yourself, learn new trends and stuff. So you realize when people who are truant, you see it in their, they're never on time. They never get up to date with whatever is happening in the day. They're always the last, and they always give excuses. Anybody who gives excuses for something that's not supposed to be done is not somebody you are worth keeping in the organization. And you know, with time, for me, I don't like to sack people, but eventually you become redundant because you realize that everybody is focused and you will be there. Something that you feel that somebody should do is already done. And you realize that you don't even know what
you have work there again.
With time, you realize that you don't fit, you're not there. So because no matter what, in every society, even in the church, there are mouths there. Yeah, there are people who have, it's not everybody who wants to be successful in life. People are comfortable where they are. There's somebody who just sits there and say, okay, that's it. It's not people who want to strive to build. When people want to build and leave legacies for generations, for instance, actually, in your mindset is to leave a legacy for your grandchildren, not even your children. If you want to have a vision where you want to leave a legacy for your grandchildren, you will strive. But when you sit there and are so comfortable, well, whatever goes on, and we are spoon-fed, we are lazy, and that's it. So people like that, in as much as you wouldn't want them in your organization, you cannot do without them, but you need to train, you need to psych yourself and let them know that you know exactly what they are doing. Sometimes they come around and then they change.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. The reason I love it is because what I gain from it is you know your business so well that when somebody in your community or in your staff or in your organization is not doing the right thing, you can easily spot it. And it just comes back to that leadership.
That is servant. Yes, that is servant leadership. You should know your business.
Amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much. So one question came in from Adaize quickly. Anybody can answer this one. It says, what do you do when your bosses do not even have a clear vision of where they are going to? What do you do as a follower? Anybody can go first.
Should I go in?
Yes, please.
All right. So basically, first of all, go into an organization without knowing their vision. You need every organization has a mission and vision. When you enter an organization, you should know the mission and vision, so that when you see it contradicts the purpose of what you being there, you can either yourself or draw the staff's attention. You know, somebody can take up an organization by inheritance. Does he know the person who started it, the vision of the person? You get it? So maybe the person wants to head into a particular direction. Now you take it and you don't know. So you are there, you realize that no, maybe the vision, what your boss said, oh, we want to go to Nigeria market. And yet he's not doing anything to learn the Nigerian market. Maybe he's learning the European market. So you realize it's a different direction is moving. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. So with things like that, you have to be clear. Every organization has a mission and vision and fall in line. And that is where you want to go. Because if you want to learn, you should be able to tap into the vision and the mission of the organization and to work with the boss to be able to grow the organization. Everything is about growth. But if you are not able to identify the vision and mission, then I don't think you're supposed to. It's not a place for you to be there.
Fantastic. Any other person wants to add to this?
Okay, I don't know if I could just drop in.
Please go ahead.
Okay, great. So I've also experienced personal instances where a leader, okay, in organizations where I've either to serve at some point, were also not so clear. Okay, and that's why when we talk about servant leadership, it comes to that point where you are able to influence just beyond the title, and that way you soon realize, because I see that sometimes, particularly in this part of the world that I'm in, people start businesses either as traders, either as or spontaneous sometimes. But if you surround yourself with, and even as a leader, because the vision evolves as you progress, and I'm sure Mr. Mike can attest to this. You didn't wake up one morning and say, even though yes, you could have a view that you wanted to conquer the world, but how you conquer the world probably wasn't so extant, right? But what will happen is that as you progress forward,
of course,
it's dawning on you, and then sometimes also you also lack clarity, but you know where you are going. Now, why we encourage this collaborative type of leadership, all right, is to ensure that even within your teammates, where they're able to talk, where they're able to contribute, where they have a sense of belonging, it kind of buoys your activity. So it's a case of, rather than one chasing 1,000, they are like 2, 3, 5 chasing 10,000. Okay, and that ties in with what even Stephen Akintayo also. So sometimes also you could paint a picture. I want to go to Canada, but your teammates could have experienced that journey before. I want to progress to Ghana. Someone within the enclave can be able to offer some advice. So that's it. Ensure that you embrace the need to be able to share. Create a sense of belonging amongst your teammates. And if your leader doesn't know, see how you can start to, lead. The 48 laws of power. It says never outshine the master. But there's also one thing he says, is that in not understanding or outshining the master, that means that you must have a way to seep, information to the master, just that master is moving, all right, in the direction which seems right. Sorry for taking the time. Yeah, Thank
you so much, sir. I love it. So it's more like finding a balance. So as much as but I also get the point of Mr. Michael here is in the initial, at least let the company or the organization have a place, a direction that is clear. Even though they don't have the bigger picture, let them have an idea of where they are heading to, so that then when you plug into that, then you can now add your own suggestions or insights to say, okay, how can we get here? Maybe you think or you thought we would take 3 years, but I'm saying I know somehow or another way that we can do this that would fast track our journey to that place. So it still comes down to. Yes, please.
Can I just say something on that?
Yes.
Because it's so easy the way we're saying it, but sometimes practically there are some very difficult bosses. All right. So take for example your manager who has a vision, who is clear, was moved into another role, and another one just comes in and decide to want to run his own different mission or different vision, and everything gets scattered. What do you do as an employee? And I think as an employee, this is a time for you now to negotiate. All right. You cannot fight your boss. You cannot tell him that his vision is crap. No. But how well can you help him to negotiate, to understand, okay, boss, this is what you want, right? All right, I will give you what you want. However, this is also what we've been working on before. How much time do you need to get this done? But I would also like that you give me this certain time to help. Then that is the point whereby the employee can step up to the leadership role. All right? To step up to that leadership role, not by outwitting or outwitting your line manager, no, but by helping him understand. And when you do that, be clear. Be clear. Let him see the pros and cons. Exactly. So it's difficult to find a line in between, but you need wisdom as an employee. So that you don't have to burn bridges, you don't have to fight anyone. But when you go with data, figures, and facts, then negotiate.
You have a negotiation. You have a negotiating power when you have those things. So it's more like I think I've worked a little bit with Dr. Stephen Akintayo, and one of his rules when you're working with him is when you spot it, of course, it gives you the space to say whatever it is that you've noticed that is going wrong or not. But when you're coming with a problem that you've spotted, you have better thought it through and come up with a solution. Don't come and tell me that there's a problem. As you're coming to tell me the problem, just come and tell me that, so this is the problem I spot, but I've thought about it, and this is how I think we can navigate it. Then he will say, okay, let's try it. Now when you try it and it doesn't work, like, okay, good. Now you see how you see that it didn't work, right? Or he then comes in and say, okay, I get your point. I think your solution is making sense, but it's not there yet. How about we do it this way? So I think, when like you said, when it is clear and when you show your sincere intention, it's not like you're beating around the bush or you want to use style to outshine your boss and say, oh, I'm the one, I gave him the idea, I'm the one that, no. When you make it clear, like, sir, actually, we are in this together, and I just want to help you because your success is my success. Our success is the success of the company. And you make it clear, then I don't think any boss or any leader in their right senses would say no to receiving help from their subordinates. Amazing session we've had tonight. Thank you so much for your patience, for your love, for your sharing. Like, I am indebted. Like, I am super duper grateful for this honor. I am so honored to have amazing people like yourself say yes to the summit and stay here from the start to the finish. I do not take it for granted. And all of the audience, thank you as well for staying with us till the end. God bless you. Tomorrow is the grand finale. You really do not want to miss it, because tomorrow we're talking and looking at servant leadership as a thought leader. We're going to be looking at mindfulness. We're going to be looking at global leadership. We're going to be looking at, soaring as a leader, and so much more tomorrow. So you want to make it a day tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time, 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Dubai time. Thank you so much again. God bless you. Have a fantastic night, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Jay. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Edirin Edewo. I'm the founder of the Online Publishers and Entrepreneurs Network, otherwise known as Open. Open is a community of writers, authors, and entrepreneurs around the world who come together to learn how to create published assets to build our influence, impact, and income. In commemoration of our 4th anniversary coming up on the 20th of June 2021, we are partnering with the Becoming Summit and Ejiro Osakede to give 10 people the opportunity to have 50% grant when they sign up to get their audiobooks published. This opportunity is for authors who already have books created and published and want to actually create an audiobook version of their books. So the first 10 people to actually register, beginning now from when you're actually listening to this at the Becoming Summit, the first 10 people to register will get 50% grant from us at Open to help them get their books published. We're also giving a 50% grant to people who want to sign up for Ejiro Sakede's Audiobooks Bootcamp. It's a one-week program dedicated to teaching you how to create audiobooks, to teach you how to mix and edit sounds, and also teach you how to create an extra stream of income by creating audiobooks for authors. Now, we have opportunity for 20 people, 10 of who are authors already, who want to get their books created into audiobooks, and 10 people who want to learn how to create an extra stream of income by learning how to create audiobooks for other people as well. If this is you and you would like to be part of this, please see the information in any of the screen, whether it's up or down, or maybe in the information scrolling below, for details on how to register for any of this. And note that all you need to do is just register, and we will take care of 50% of your registration fees for you. Thank you so much to Ejiro and to the Becoming Summit and to Mixiform Books, who's bringing this opportunity to people out there. We appreciate you and we wish you the best of luck. Thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of your day.
Good night.